socks.
What do you call this, Dave?
I call it an original look.
Yeah. I learned to stay strong.
Go.
Concrete in the dirt I was raised on. Know how to put in work. Grinding all day, you know it's game on. My skin is thick, yeah, it's tough. Running, yeah, we stay alive. Ain't gotta look nowhere else. All of this greatness inside.
Son, I wish we had that recorded. What we were just talking about. We'll get back on it, but trust me, there'll be many more. Episode what, Dave? We had it all.
I believe now it's 29.
29. Episode 29. Miss Katherine Wills.
No, it's just Wills.
Wills.
Not what you're talking about, Willis.
Wills. So, do we give you a title? I mean, like your official business title? I mean, no, we're not going into politics. I don't want anything to do with that.
I'm not a politician.
Well, I mean, we're not talking about anything to do with like the business side of what you do.
No, I'm here.
No, there's a reason I don't want to go there. So I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste time there.
Okay.
But
and I think most people know what I do to pay the mortgage.
No, you think a lot of people locally watch this.
Oh, hello, non-local people.
Oh yeah, no, I got people in North. I have Miss Candace in where, Dave? Northwest. Just say Northwest.
Yes.
Northwest. She's a logger.
Oh.
She's watched every episode.
Yep.
Every
She's
episode.
a super fan.
She's literally texts me like, "When's the next episode coming on?"
Has she seen your calves?
Huh?
Has she seen your calves?
Candace.
He's in shorts every episode.
But
so.
I mean,
Yeah, but we don't ever show the calves. Look at them calves.
she would probably.
I just found out that I have good calves. I knew I had big calves, but Katherine is staring at my calves. Hang on a second.
Oh, wait, stop. So I'm wondering. This is the question.
Well, can we explain why I'm dressed like this?
In a minute.
Okay.
I want to go back to Candace.
Never even give you a fucking title. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's episode 29.
Okay, episode 29. Go ahead,
So
Katherine.
listen, if you got an OnlyFans,
I'll do it tomorrow.
okay, I bet she would be your first.
Candace?
Would you? Does she answer? Will she let us know?
Oh yeah, she'll comment on
That's the
that.
question. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. But I don't really know Candace. I mean, I know her.
You think that the people on OnlyFans know their fans?
No, but all I think about is the movie Misery.
Getting your legs broke.
No, yeah, I just
Getting
feel like I'm gonna
hobbled.
walk up to the door and all of a sudden you hear, and I'm out, right? And then I wake up and I'm on a bed like this, and there's some beautiful woman like Katherine going with a sledgehammer, and she's talking to me, and I'm going, and there's a board in between and I'm going, no, you don't want to do this. You don't. That's where my brain always goes.
And then you get hobbled.
Okay, so
Episode 29. What are we calling it?
chaos. That is just one word. No, you know what? It's two words.
What is it?
Because I believe this is what you do in life. I believe it's controlled chaos.
Yep.
Look at that. What do you know?
Controlled chaos. I have
Controlled
actually I like it.
Controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos.
But it really fits in because what I love is a title that fits into all areas of someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
So, first off, I was in court today.
That's why you're dressed like this.
Okay? So that is to those. That's enough. So anyways, I was in court today. It'll be over with soon. It's nothing big. There's nothing major. No hidden secrets. Just me and life. And many of us have been in civil court. So I had to dress up a little bit, right?
You look very nice.
Thank you. But 1:30 means 5:30. They didn't even have us on the docket. They lost our
Really?
paper. They lost our paper. We were the last two to be seen.
Go
The
figure.
first two there, the last two to be seen.
Go figure.
So we go to the mediator. Took way too long. We didn't get anywhere. We had to go sit with the judge, and then get the stuff done. So I was dressed, could not get to the house and change. Didn't bring stuff with me. So she comes in. She thinks obviously we are. We are.
She's comfy.
No,
Well, that's what I
we're
was told.
coordinating. I mean, some ladies like to coordinate. She's going out. Okay, what are you
Controlled
wearing?
chaos. I do like to always be the best dressed.
Yes. Okay. And so she said, Brett, you better have some shorts. I did not have shorts. And she said it about the fourth time, much like Becky. And so
I'm shocked you're not sitting here in your boxers.
it crossed my mind. It did cross. Today it crossed my mind. But because you don't know why? Well, two reasons. One, I'm old, and I think the old boys would come out that way. No, I'm just kidding. Don't judge me. Y'all just won't say it. No, but they would think I'm trying to be something I'm not. So anyways, I pulled these up, and then I found out that by her conversation that my calves are OnlyFans worthy.
They really are.
You know what? I'll split the profits with you. You take the shots. You upload them. You answer everybody.
And I mean, the prosthetic leg, we're
Okay.
freaking a gold mine.
No, hang on a second. Bump the prosthetic leg. Look, we take the bolts out. You pop that thing off, right? Underneath that is a beautiful,
Nub.
but there's a little meat to it too.
Oh my God.
And it goes like this.
He
Okay.
makes more money than you. It's a competition.
That's what I'm saying. No, he would win.
He would hands down.
No,
Yeah.
hands down, legs down win.
There's some
So,
sick people in the
yeah, there's two of them right here. What are you talking about? So,
Seriously, does it do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to want you to do it before
Okay.
you leave.
okay,
I
Dave doesn't
can't.
have
Hey, when I have shorts on, you're here next time.
You
Dave.
promise?
Yeah.
Dave
Alright.
doesn't have a problem. He came in once he finally lost his leg, and I was.
We're having a meeting.
Yeah, we're having a meeting, and he's sitting there, and we're talking, and Dave's sitting there, and he's like, just bouncing his nub.
I mean, it just moves.
No, and there's
Yeah.
there's meat underneath it, so it's like a walrus, and there's like a walrus part.
They're so cute.
Yeah, and I was like,
Until they're not. Until they're
see,
not.
but Dave, there's women out there who are good people that want a nub.
There's men out there who are good people that want a nub.
I know, but I don't think Dave doesn't play on that team.
It's OnlyFans. You're just
Yeah.
in it. It's all about money.
But between that,
I mean,
no
Okay.
toes on
You're
the
not-
other foot.
You're not really the no toes on the other foot. That's a whole nother.
Okay,
thing.
no, listen, hang
I'm
on.
freaking telling you.
I got great.
This guy is a gold
A
mine.
goal. Thank you, Dave. Now you be honest and say how long ago I said this.
When I was about to get it cut off.
You and I are
What the leg or the?
no, I said we're going on
The leg.
OnlyFans with your leg.
Yep.
And because
You
he was,
need like a really good OnlyFans name though.
girl,
For the
I am a
record-
name maker.
Okay, but for the record, I just want to be clear. I've
Yes.
never been on OnlyFans, and I only learned about it when I was working on the Navy base. All the little E3s in the Pommy department. It's not a bullshit. It's not a bullshit.
Dave,
No,
No, seriously.
you might use that a few times today.
that bullshit meter has not been engaged in a few
No.
episodes, but I'm gonna call bullshit on that one.
It's true.
Actually, that was a joke bullshit. I really do believe that.
I really.
Yeah.
And then I was shocked at what people, and you can go down a rabbit hole.
I really do have an account. Now, hang on a second.
Okay.
When OnlyFans first started, it was also meant for speakers, and there was going to be, it was almost like,
SoundCloud. When
no, it was almost like Amazon, where you could go for clothes and food. So if you wanted the sensual side, there was a whole category. But if you wanted speaking engagements or you wanted exercise, and it came on early, and I'm always quick to grab an app, and so I jumped on early, and then all of a sudden it became what it became, and I don't even know what my account is, but
I mean, it became
I think
a
I'm
place
on there.
to see calves, maybe a prosthetic
Yep.
leg, nub.
and you know what? I'm gonna throw my calves on there.
You should.
I am. I'll put them. I'll go to
Sorry.
a meadow with like little white flowers. No, I'll be near a tree trunk.
No, I think you should.
Tell me, how about if I plant my ankle like it's a tree trunk?
I think you should.
There's like a sunflower field out by the dump.
Hang on a second. We plant my ankle,
No.
we leave this out, and then right here we start putting like leaves, like it's a. Yeah, I'm getting all
You can
creative.
stick it through one of Becky's wreaths.
We should do that before you leave. Which one?
No, we are not doing this before I leave. Listen, what
You could, like,
happens if
kinda
there's only one? Okay, here's
Is
the
that
downside.
dinosaur a dinosaur puppet
Oh
behind
yeah,
you?
that's
I mean,
that's
there's all
hair.
kinds of props in here. For
No,
the
they're not
calves.
props.
That could be a prop. I'm talking about the calves.
Oh, you're still on the calves.
I'm on the calves, dude.
He could be eating my leg.
That's Harry and Larry.
Harry.
That's everything has a. Oh wait, will you turn that fishing guy towards you, please?
You know what's his name?
Huh?
It's creepy as hell. His eyeballs are
Fucking
creepy.
Froggy. I don't know. I named him, but we're fishing. No, he needs to be pointed toward you, please.
Oh.
Because last week it was just me. No, yeah, he's too far. He's too far. No, more to me. More back to me. No, this like this, right? Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Okay, so the idea with Dave,
For OnlyFans. Are we back on OnlyFans?
no, I never left,
Okay.
is calves. I'm like, okay, I'll make money. Hey, man, listen, Daddy got to pay bills. I got to build a mobile podcast. It's coming.
That's gonna be cool.
I'm gonna build a mobile podcast, and then we're gonna travel. And I got some people I'm gonna go see. Yeah, and so we'll be. Steve-O does it, but he does it B-rated. We'll beat him at it. Yeah, I'm coming. See, you're talking to Clay County. I mean, Clay County will come or they won't come, but the nation.
Who's your audience? I mean, who do you think your OnlyFans audience?
I have no. I can tell. OnlyFans, probably gay guys.
I think so too.
Yeah.
They have
Hey,
a
if
lot
they
of
pay, who cares?
I know, and as a
Happy Pride Month.
but as exactly. Oh, it's over. As a demographic, today's the last day.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's still today. I was accurate, technically. Happy end of Pride Month.
Happy last day of Pride Month.
Yeah, whatever.
Right on. Gay men,
Yeah,
they have more discretionary income as a demographic.
I know.
So
I've heard it in the retail as dinks, double income, no kids. But nowadays there are kids that are in the. I mean,
a lot more now than there used to be.
and I mean, I have a whole side of my family that is lesbian and gay. I think both sisters and then my cousin. I mean, he's 6'5", just loves the country line. He's a great people. They're fun. I have a blast, and they're actually mulatto. I mean, they're half white, half black. Mm-hmm. And I mean, when you see a picture of my family, it would shock people. It really does. Because, I mean, there'll be African-Americans sitting there because of the dads of Brandon and everything. Yeah, I love it. I love diversity. Clay County is getting more diverse. It's getting there.
you think?
Yeah, I do. It's going to take a long time. I mean, look how long it took Jacksonville. I mean, the bold city of the South. I
Bold
mean,
new city of the South.
Yeah.
Don't forget that word new.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Jim Kelly, how you doing? Jim Kelly was the president. I mean, was of the school board.
That's right.
Yeah, he was an asshole. I worked for the school board. He screwed me. Yeah, you did. Sue me. I'll prove it.
Really?
Yeah, I lost my full-time job.
Oh.
There was racism that was going on in the school board.
Which school were you at?
Duval County School Board. I worked at the
School board office.
I worked off Beaver Street.
How crazy is it that the school board office, because when it was downtown,
It was on the
at Fort-
water.
It's nuts on the South Peak.
I know. We used to go. Well, when I got electrical with the school board, I thought I was going to be with the school board the rest of my life.
I mean, it's also crazy that you come across the bridge and you see the beautiful stadium in the jail.
Yeah. Do you know?
Who saw? Oh, and Scholzbacher. That's my favorite. And when this last year, what was it? Christmas? I went down for something. I don't remember what. But I think they gave all the homeless people matching tents. So it was
Sounds
like
right.
City.
this,
Sounds
yeah,
right.
but all the tents matched. So it was kind of artsy. You're driving.
Somebody must have been
aesthetically
coming in.
pleasing.
Do you ever go by like when you go into the stadium? Do you ever listen? If you listen real faintly, you'll hear this.
No.
You hear, and if you look up, there's all these guys on the windows, and they're all, especially you ladies, they'll be beaten and everything.
No.
Yeah, I used to always tell my sister, "Don't look up. Don't look up. You're all right. Just
Really?
listen."
Oh.
Yeah, because they know when game day is, and they'll all get up on the little windows.
Funny.
And the only reason I know is my brother, did almost a year in there before they sent him down the river. That was a long time ago.
To the jail in Benil.
No prison.
Oh, prison.
No, he was maximum security.
Oh.
He did 5.5 years.
Oh.
4 years? 4.5? 5, something, I don't know. He was an big old stocky dude.
Is he out now?
Yeah, he's out. He's out there. He's somewhere out there. I don't know where he is. He's institutionalized is real. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he was a good dad and all that. So, and I wish him nothing but the best. We'll see what happens. I would love to tell the victory story of him.
Yeah.
Because he lived with me for 3.5 years?
3 years, 3.5.
Yeah, he worked. Becky met him. He worked here for a little bit. He was so nice. I said, yeah, he is.
Is he your older brother?
Yeah,
What's the age difference?
2.5 years.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, but Bart was just a fabulous athlete. I mean, he was a stud, and I was
What
not.
sport? Baseball?
All
Sports.
literally all basketball, football, baseball, and he played back during the Willie McClendon days at UC, and so they didn't throw. Oh yeah, we all played. I mean, like Pruitt when he won his first championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, the year they won the championship.
Yeah.
My dad had dragged me to Episcopal on a work scholarship. And back then it was like $10,000. I couldn't afford that. We were poor. I got a good education though, and networked a lot. I didn't even know I was networking, but a lot of the people now are they're movers and shakers in Jacksonville. So, anyways, so who was your big? I'm jumping way back.
All right.
Because I want a little bit about you before we get back into the chaos that will ensue. Who was your biggest influence as a child? See, watch how she doesn't like to talk about her. I love people like this. Watch. Let's just talk about something crazy, Brett. Nope, we're diving into
She's like
you.
sinking into the chair.
Everybody wants to know. Remember, you just sent out a tweet. Watch.
Yeah.
I didn't send it out.
I know. Oh,
didn't have
damn
time.
it. Dave, we will.
I don't have my glasses.
Okay. No, and this is good. So, like,
So I think that's an easy question.
Yeah.
I
usually is.
definitely think you're supposed to say your parents, but
No.
and I loved my mom and dad,
No.
100%. But I had really amazing grandparents, and I was lucky, really amazing grandmothers.
which one had the gift of gab?
Probably my dad's mom.
Because you got it early. Because you
yeah.
have honed this skill. You're not where she is.
No.
Okay, so
She
all right, so on your
and she
dad's
taught
side.
me that it's important. I mean, at an early age, like when you go, and albeit I grew up in a one stoplight town.
Yeah.
You know, and
What
big
what
farm-
state?
Virginia.
Okay.
This is not a state; it's a commonwealth.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
very proud of that.
Oh yeah, I understand. No, I don't understand that. Stop and explain that.
Well, okay. So how it works is, there,
You don't pay taxes.
you pay a buttload of taxes.
Okay, that's good.
So a buttload of taxes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I
yeah,
know. I
that's
know
why it's-
Richmond
Okay, and Richmond's an interesting.
because I went to Liberty, so I would go
good
over to
Baptist school.
Richmond.
Yeah. to
No,
pick
I
up
got
gr-
kicked out. It's okay. I only lasted 1 year.
Did you?
Oh yeah, because it was back with Jerry Falwell, and I mean they were like, "Hey Brett, why don't you take a year off?" And I was like, "Okay." So I moved off Phillips Highway, and off my life went. I was a custodian. And
So
all that.
you went to Liberty straight from Episcopal to Liberty?
Yeah,
Did you play sports?
yeah,
Baseball?
no.
Liberty has a good baseball team.
Yeah, no. Back then, no. I got ran over, and my college career was over before it really started. I was athletically good, but I didn't do the gym thing. I just liked pretty girls and parties and hanging out.
Which Liberty is not a party school. VCU.
Thus the hey, bro. Oh, I know. I went to VCU. We
Yeah,
partied there,
VCU
and
is good.
like I say this all the time. Went to Maryland, and that was the first place. This was 90, 91. The girls and guys were showering in the same. Now I'm thinking they're showering together, like you're washing my back and right. So I'm like putting my. I mean, I didn't go in. No, I'm just kidding. I put my towel on. I'm like, boy, I'm in my flip flops. And I'm going in there. Well, girls went into. I mean, it was separate. You couldn't see nothing. I thought it was gonna be like some big, swingers club.
At Liberty.
No, at Maryland, University of Maryland. I had a buddy of mine that was dating a girl in Maryland. I got around. I mean, I took off for Chicago.
I was
from
gonna say
up
you went
there.
on your road trip.
I got as far away from my parents as I could.
Why? Because you're a college kid? That's
No,
what you wanted to
because
do?
I didn't grow up with a TV. We were allowed to have AM radio. I didn't even know a word. And so, I mean, I to this day watch so much TV. I went 10 years.
So they were strict.
Oh,
What's it called? What are those?
legalistic.
No, the little God, what are those people that live in Pennsylvania and they're in the
Amish?
Amish?
Yeah, and what's it called? A rings. Help me out. You know what I'm talking about. They're allowed before they decide
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
you're gonna fully commit.
Yes.
There used to be a show on
Living Amish.
Well, that's why.
yes.
Yes.
And it would show them do what's the
Yes.
big word though? It's big. It's like
I don't know.
Wrong. Ask Siri. Let's ask Siri. Anyhow, and so before you're going to fully commit, so
They get to test the waters.
oh God, and then
Yeah.
they all go back.
Right.
All of them go back.
Right. They party. Those because I didn't watch every episode, but they party.
A lot.
Well, that's when you restrict young people to that regard, you're going to get that.
Are you looking it up?
So I grew up really strict, and so when I got to Liberty, I mean I was playing football, and my girlfriend was a cheerleader, and they would go to have pizza on University Boulevard, and I'd have to go home
Oh.
after the game. So all these football players are hanging out, and I'm like in 10th grade going home. I mean, it didn't stop. And they had the
I
windows.
had strict parents. We turned out good though.
Yeah, I did too. What's
I
wrong?
mean, don't you think I think we turned out pretty good.
Well, anything that I did that wasn't good had nothing to do with me being raised strict. I have learned that. So meaning it's not my parents' fault
That's
for.
interesting.
Yeah, I was going to experience what I was going to experience.
I mean, okay. Let me ask you this: having strict parents, I had a strict mom. My dad could be strict, but we're buddies.
yeah.
You know. But did it matter to you what your parents thought of you? Like, I never wanted my mom to be disappointed with any of decisions that I made.
Well, by the age of 6, I realized they were always going to be fucking disappointed. So
Okay, no.
no,
I mean,
let's go
what
there.
about- what
so
about-
no, please. So Doc, by the
Yeah.
age of 6,
Okay,
I
so-
realized that my parents were not going to be happy. No, I mean, look, my mom loves me,
Right.
and she's a good mom. I see her. My dad loves me. So they had a different way of raising than I did.
Did you raise your kids the same way that?
Hell no. Hell no. I didn't send them to school with welts on their legs, with the belts pulled. I mean, in the 80s, you wore the short shorts.
Right.
Go play basketball with red belt welts around your leg. See how cool you are. See, look, he was a stud baseball player. I mean, he just got inducted to his high school Hall of Fame.
Nice.
His ERA was like nothing. He was going in the minors, probably would have had a run at it.
Nice.
And then off goes the shoulder.
And then goes your shoulder playing football.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then everything else is falling. But it's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to put a zip line in here.
And have OnlyFans. Y'all can fund
See,
the zip
I blame
line
Brett.
with
She
the
is all
OnlyFans.
about this OnlyFans.
I blame Brett.
You do?
I was perfectly healthy while we were drinking. He got sober. I stopped drinking and I fell apart.
Really? So y'all are drinking buddies. That's how
No,
you
I
know
met
each
him
other.
because he ran a bar.
I used to
What's
run
bar?
Chicago Pizza.
And I spent a lot of money.
Oh.
I spent a lot of money every night.
At Chicago Pizza, that was your go-to bar?
No, that's just the place you would see me there, and I'd be over there, and I'd be over there, and I'd be over there.
We were
and
at
I'd be-
Chicago Pizza. I used to run Island Life.
Oh.
Yeah, he worked at
Hurricanes.
I didn't know him then, but no, he ran a bar and at the Chicago Pizza, and I liked it because I'd walk. I love sports,
Yeah.
and he would have 6 TVs up, and it wasn't just me. Then I got to know the owner, Robert,
Yeah.
and Robert was a hoot.
Oh.
So, Robert, he loved to party, and I was the guy that stuff just always found. I mean, no, it finds.
no
Dave
such thing.
Dave is 18 years with me, and I'll let him speak. I'm telling you, anybody.
He does nothing, and people just walk in the bar and
I was sitting in the back
just
right
find
corner.
them.
I was 300. I was about 275, 280 pounds. I mean, I could, I was 6'3". I'm sitting in the back right corner with the water and a straw in it, and the place was packed. And we were finishing watching sports. We weren't there for a club, and then we left.
Yeah.
And we were watching the last West Coast game, and they turn it into a club. And the place gets busy, and we used to call it the ghetto. And we're right up at the bar, and we're watching. We knew all the girls, and we had an old lady with us, right?
Mama.
Mama was there with her cane. She'd hit people, and we were a hoot. We just had fun. And
Was it fun, Dave?
And you hear
what's that?
It was fun.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay.
no, Dave, was I an angry guy?
No, not at all.
You don't seem like an angry guy.
No, we danced. I mean, I knew the owner of Island Life, and she was my dance partner.
Oh, yeah?
I would spin, and I mean, we would throw darts, but when I started drinking, you never knew when I was going to stop.
Oh.
I mean, I could drink. When I quit drinking, the Fireball at Island Life nosedived. Because see, I thought
We were a bottle and a half of Fireball a night.
a night. I mean, I would do double shots of Patron. There'd be 16, 17.
I got him off the Patron.
Yeah, I like my Patron. Yeah, now the Patron will make you angry when somebody starts something. But yeah, I was over there with the water, and you hear the doors open.
Yeah.
We haven't even turned around. And
He literally looked at me. He's like, "Here it comes."
I looked at him. I knew it. I said, "Here it comes." And all of a sudden, this guy reaches over me. Now, he had made his way all to the bar. We're way in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to go far right.
Was he bigger than you?
No.
No. And he reached over in between me and grabbed my water and picked it up.
Started drinking it.
Started drinking it. And I didn't even turn around.
Just because.
I don't know. It happens to me all the time. It's been this way my whole life. I'm
Some
talking
guy,
since a kid.
some guy brig of him walked up and started eating his French fries.
And I didn't budge. I didn't say nothing to him because I've dealt with him my whole life. I said, "Please stop. Please stop." And he started putting his hands on my face.
Did you ask him to stop drinking your water?
No. I didn't even talk to him. I looked at the bartender and I said, Dave was sitting right there. I said, Kim or whatever her name was. I said, huh?
Nikki.
I said, whatever. I said, Nikki, if you will, just give me another water, please. Didn't say nothing. Put it down, put me 2 straws in and everything. And all of a sudden the guy went to reach for it again. No, I don't
He
know.
literally looked at the guy and said, "That's a bad idea."
I think I said something
Something.
like, if you touch that, then we're going to tear this place up. And I think I don't know.
Did he walk off?
Yeah. But
You did
most of
give
them
him-
don't.
You did give the guy that ate your French fries a good shove across brick
I don't.
oven.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to. Yeah. Okay. This isn't a.
Okay. That's control
Yeah.
chaos.
That was a long time
It
ago.
was controlled
yeah.
chaos.
But
Dad.
let me say this. I was sitting down. You tell me what your husband would do. I'm sitting down eating by myself. It's about 11:30, 12. I'm not drinking. I mean, I'm going to sober up before I go anywhere. And so I'm eating. We're throwing darts. And so we're going to be there for another hour or so. But
Okay.
I drank a bit.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting there eating, and nobody was at the bar. And he comes right up beside me, starts eating my fries. And I was like, dude, stop. Man, it was probably 7 times. I mean, no one would have done that. And then he put his hands on my face and started messing with my hair. And it's not like you can't touch my hair, but it was just like you're touching. I don't know this. Right.
I don't understand.
We didn't know.
I know that's weird as shit.
And I'm not talking anymore. I hear Dave, and Dave doesn't usually talk at all. He's not that guy. He's my calming guy. And he's like, he goes, man, just leave him alone. Come over here. And he tried like 3 times, and I'm cutting food. And finally, I'd had damn enough.
Sure.
So all I did is I stood up and I just, and I guess my energy was really, because he slid about 15 feet and chairs were, and I was a big guy, and I move a lot of furniture. I'm not strong.
Right.
Whatever. And and then I sat back down as he was sliding, and I began to eat my food again.
Good.
And he never,
That was it.
That was
it.
that.
But there's also good that comes to me. Here's what if you really want to know what it is,
Yeah.
it's a spiritual warfare.
Oh.
And so there are people in my life, this podcast, there are people that'll get a hold of me. They don't intend for good.
Right. Sure.
They want to get me off track.
Sure.
And they being, if there is a higher power, there's a lower powers. And so I see it as a spiritual warfare. And so a lot of people cross my path that I'm able to help because of the path I've walked in life. Like you've walked a path I haven't. That's
Sure.
why we're here.
Sure.
And so
I believe in what you just said.
and if
100%.
if you're on the field playing the game and you're not in the stands just
Sure,
watching it,
sure.
well, there's an opponent,
And you got to be open to all that.
right? Because
Sure.
he's not coming as a pitchfork and a fork. He'll come as the sexiest woman,
Yeah.
the greatest business opportunity.
Yeah.
So
100%.
you got to be like a middle linebacker.
That's true.
And your head's on a swivel.
In the arena.
And guess what?
What?
Come to find out, the devil can sound like God.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. I was
It's in
waiting.
the Bible.
Well, who reads that?
Well, I do.
I was.
But
I mean, I
it's
could
in-
put the felt Jesus where he was supposed to go.
I have
Okay,
a flat
the
Jesus.
lambs are behind him. I
No,
got it.
seriously.
And then there's one you always put out there. No, in all fairness, I know the Bible very well. David and I did very
But
well.
I mean, that is in the Bible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I paid attention to every. I mean, it's a big freaking
Don't
book.
you think? So it's funny that we're talking about this. We talked about this today at work. I think that there's so many things in the Bible that are sweet that, like, when we initially read them, like when Adam and Eve, remember when God first comes and he's so nice to them.
When you women screwed up.
Okay. However the story goes.
I'm just
When you
kidding.
men were dumb
I was
enough
just
to listen to us.
Yes,
Which
yeah.
proves we're the superior sex. I mean,
True.
True.
You get no argument here.
I mean, it's no argument.
No.
So, but no, seriously. God says, who told you? He's like, where are you? Where are you? Because
Yep.
they're hiding
He was
from him.
right.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we're over here. Why are you hiding? Because we're naked. Well,
Yep.
who told you to have any clothes on? I mean, God knows all of this stuff. He's so sweet. I mean,
But
he's
all
sweet.
Satan did.
I know.
All Satan did was ask a question. You realize they say, Satan and tempted, I get it, but all he really did was ask a question. Who says you can't eat of the tree of fruit of knowledge, of good and evil, of the tree of good and evil? So, and then all that question, it begins to murmur.
Sure.
He knows how to plant seeds. And I have fallen in areas like that. So I'm very aware of myself and my surroundings. Like we have a thing in here that, this is a female-based business.
Sure. It's great. This is great.
Dave, what
business.
happens if I'm walking anywhere by myself with a woman?
You asked for someone else to be there.
I usually don't have to ask; they're there. Like if
Right.
if I have
We
a
know.
if I have
That's
a dealer
smart.
around,
I mean, that's smart.
well, one it's another even with another person,
Sure.
but with a female, I don't want. I mean, because I've
Well,
already.
John and I don't ride in a vehicle
Yep.
together.
Yep.
Because people's perception
Yep.
becomes reality.
Absolutely.
You
And
know.
y'all, like me and Becky, they think
Right.
she's my wife.
All the
Everybody,
time.
all the
Nobody
time.
thinks John's my husband,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
I get it. And no, I get it with Beck and them and she does ride in the car. So I'll put her in the back. She can ride in the back of the truck. She's just gonna punch me now.
She's from
All right.
Middleburg. She all right.
So and she from Rickett Road. What you talking about? Rickett Road, kid.
West,
So
Yeah.
have you always been a leader?
Wow. I don't,
You said we're going anywhere, so I thought with her, you got to throw them out of left field to really get that. I like that. She's gonna meet somebody tonight.
I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Who am I gonna meet?
Fast guy.
Who's fast guy? Or that would be
I was
you.
just standing around the corner while you were there. I'm waiting on you.
So
She's
I
not
don't
used to
know.
that.
No one's ever asked me that before.
I know.
That's a good question.
I know.
And
So
I
please
don't
answer.
actually think of myself as a leader.
Okay.
I mean, I just do me.
Okay. So who taught you to do you? We'll use her terminology. See, Dave got to go where they are
Yep.
and bring them out. So,
So-
who taught you to do
It's
you?
funny. Women. I was raised by really strong Southern women. What does that mean?
Southern Belle or
No,
cussing
Southern.
and
Like
tank?
pull you behind the corner, bless your heart, poison your sandwich. I'm
Yes.
kidding.
No, no, it's not kidding. I know some ladies have done that.
Put some laxative in your tomato juice.
Do you not know somebody who's done that?
Seriously.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know this person.
I
I'm
know
not going to
this
say her name.
person.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know that
Oh,
person.
yeah, you do.
I mean, I know people who, yes. Yeah, okay. So that does not surprise me.
No, she's got a great story. We'll let her tell it.
Sure. But
Yeah.
no,
So you were around strong women.
yes, my whole life.
Yeah. And
But I think and that has a negative connotation these days.
yeah.
I think in some
okay.
circles that
Speak.
does.
Go ahead.
Because, then there's the assumption, well,
Where's the man fit in?
right.
Yep.
But they were incredibly respectful. I mean, my parents are the only ones who are divorced.
Yeah.
My grandparents on my dad's side married, almost 70 years.
Wow.
And my Vava and Vovo, which my grandparents on my mom's side, same deal. I mean, married well into so I've had aunts and uncles, all that. Married.
Nationality?
My mom's side is from Brazil.
Viva Brazil! My dad lived in Florianopolis.
I only ever cuss in Portuguese. I
I
know
love
a
it.
lot of dirty words in Portuguese.
The sexiest, let me tell y'all.
It is.
The sexiest language. I've been down to Brazil about 27
Yeah.
27 times.
Yeah.
The sexiest language, na 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 na. I can't speak it at all,
It's
but I
It's
understand.
gorgeous.
Yeah. My dad speaks it fluently.
And they make the best meat. Like,
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what
I
they
will not
do.
eat it as shish Korea in,
I
in
don't
America.
know what they do to red
I can tell you.
meat, but and fish.
Yeah, they don't.
God.
They don't pump them full of proteins,
The
and
hell was a shish Korea?
they
What
grass
it
feed
is.
them. Dude, they come with a steak.
Yeah, on a. and
But
you
but in
just-
Brazil, there's no.
Is it like at the Brazilian steakhouse?
but
that's a
those aren't
shish
real.
Korea.
Yeah,
Okay.
but those aren't
Listen to
real.
her.
They don't really have that in Brazil.
No,
Okay.
there's you
No.
don't have you have a there's a bar where you
Like,
go
know
get
how
your
we-
food.
well, how
Gotcha.
we Americanize everything, and then we're like, oh
Yeah.
look, they don't really have that.
They don't even have walls. They'll have just
So I'll tell you, my favorite. There's a really great Brazilian restaurant. It's in New York City, on the East Village. It's street level, and it's this sweet little. It's brilliant. It's
keep
probably
talking.
like as big as this room.
Mm-hmm.
The dining area, and then the kitchen, because it's Brazil. I mean,
Right.
it's New York. Everything's small.
Yep.
But it's this real sweet little couple. It's called Delicio. It's a husband and wife, and literally, like, if you go there to eat, that's what you're doing. That's your date for the night. Like, because
it's like 8
they
course. or-
cook. Yeah, no, if you order, but everything's traditional. The food is incredibly fresh. It's the most fun. So if you're ever in the city, particularly in winter.
So you're a New York girl? Could you say city like you've been there for a while?
But I mean, I did travel there a bunch. But
okay.
yeah. So if you ever go at winter time.
Delicio.
Delicio. Yeah,
Delicio.
it's in the East Village.
What's your favorite food? What's your favorite place? No, I'm not gonna do it. You're not
What's
gonna
my
put you on the
favorite?
spot.
What?
Like your favorite place around here. So that was a really put
Well,
on the spot.
no. That's easy.
Okay.
I love this pizza place in Hastings.
Ooh.
I'm not even freaking kidding.
Hastings, man, they could play some football too.
Well, I'm telling you, that's a sweet little town. But
I know.
this guy, so yeah, we stumbled upon it. I was craving pizza. I mean, I always crave pizza, let's be honest. I love pizza.
I swear, I think I know where you're talking
Main
about.
Street. It's the only thing. Like if you say, "Hey Siri, get me directions to Hastings," it pulls up the pizza place because I think that's the only thing people go to Hastings for. And
I wrote a review for him.
he's our Mike, the guy that owns it. Mike
Yeah,
Cross.
because it was
He's
after hours.
Armenian. A restaurateur came up. He's got a great backstory. Came up from Windmere in Orlando.
Right.
Owned a bunch of restaurants.
I mean,
sold them.
Windmere.
I know, but before it was Windmere.
Oh, okay.
Well,
got it.
Iris is
A windmill.
Windmere.
Yeah,
You
nowadays
know,
it's
Windmere. But yeah.
Tiger Woods lives there. Shut up.
I don't even know if he still lives
He
there. does
doesn't. They just still say it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't? But
Yeah.
so he sold those and then did some restaurants in Winter Haven.
If he's successful in the restaurant business,
So let me just, because if you want to go broke, what do?
open a restaurant business. Dave,
Yeah,
that was Dave's world.
But everybody can do that.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they can do that.
Yeah.
Just like all actors think
Yep.
they can sing, and all singers think they can be
Yep.
actor, all the things. So, but the guy is genius.
Yes.
So when you're on 207, if you're coming, you've gone through East Palatka, all the things, and you turn on 207 like you're gonna head towards the ocean.
Yep.
Right there at the 207 diner, it's actually in Putnam County. Used to be an old restaurant. I'm gonna tell you, he bought that. I mean, an old gas station. He
Right.
bought that. It's a bougie. Put all this wood on the wall. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. It's the bougiest little breakfast and lunch place. And then he bought the building down where Hastings Pizza is.
So he's
So,
smart.
yeah,
He
he's-
does it right. It seems
he's
like he
wicked
gets
smart.
in during the good time and he's
But-
out before he
yeah,
goes
He's about
broke.
10 years
Yeah, he's
ahead
like
of the
the
growth.
Walt Disney of
5'8".
restaurants, and he's just bought that shopping center over in Salt Springs that has the big. Because I was asking him, saw him on Sunday or Saturday.
Does he need a vintage store in there?
I don't know. You could talk to him about that.
I will.
I mean, he's a great guy.
I will,
and
'cause
he's
that area's growing.
entrepreneurial. I love talking to him. But he's wicked smart.
Okay, so stop for a second.
Yeah.
That is what you're really good at. That
What?
quick networking.
Oh.
Because in 2 seconds, you could put me in touch with him.
So let me tell you, I think that everyone has superpowers.
Yeah.
Like, it's y'all's job to promote yourself.
Yeah.
We tell this to our chamber members all the time. But I love the little things that, for instance, we have a chamber member, Monty Lambert, WGI. So Monty will love that. I'm talking about him. He's a good.
What up, Monty?
Well, he's in West Palm Beach. So, but
I love it.
he, is the business development guy for WGI.
Yeah.
Well, what Monty's superpower and what really makes Monty, and that's great. We're going to have a new bridge because of WGI, all the things that WGI does that are great that I don't understand because
Right.
they're engineers. I don't understand
Right.
any of that. I'm glad God made people that way. I don't need to understand it.
It's not me either,
But
right?
I'm just glad. They're hard to talk to, too. Just being honest. But, I listened to this podcast trying to get to know when
Yeah.
I first got hired. Because you want to know who your big members are. You want to be able to connect, on a different level. And so WGI does these podcasts. Well, Monty happened to talk about how he was a music teacher. He grew up on a ranch in Montana. I mean, I was hooked right away. He's a visual talker to begin with. And he then taught school, but he realized pretty quick, I don't want to be a rancher forever. I don't want to go to family business because I don't want to birth a cow, which he had to apparently in a blizzard in Montana. Right. And
Shut up, Dick.
and, he didn't want to teach school because, well, you're not making that much money, right?
Yeah.
So he opened a little music store, and then he met this guy. I mean, I think he was still teaching school. And then he met this guy who had this great idea for like a warehouse store, right? Big box. But he wanted to give out samples, and he wanted music to be playing, Monty is a musician.
Right.
So, that led to him then doing all the programming for this store we now call Costco, which then led him to interview, at the harbor at West Palm Beach, which is how he ended up, happily married to his wife, who I hope will be the next mayor. I know we're not supposed to talk about politics tonight.
Okay.
Well, I know I'm not
Okay.
supposed to.
Okay.
On the politic restriction. But
Yeah.
if you live in West Palm Beach and you're watching, that's who you want to vote for. Call me up. I'll tell you all about it.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean,
Right
but
place, right time.
The reality about that is because we knew that, we got to ask Monty when you're at a Christmas party that the chamber had, hey, can you come play Christmas carols for us at the Hilltop? And that's kind of become like a tradition. This last year, Aaron Bean and Bobby Ingram and Monty all sang, I don't remember what Christmas tune, but everybody
Really?
loved it. Yeah, it's just fun.
Which one did I go to? Was that Christmas?
I don't know.
You went to a ball. You didn't go to a
Oh,
Christmas
did you go
party.
to the gala? That's not really a gala. I just said that out loud. I'll probably get fired.
Hey, can I do the decorations next year?
Are you saying that I did a bad job decorating?
You see? No, I'm saying you wear a lot of freaking hats.
I did not know how to decorate that room.
Have you
Did
seen?
come
Have
to
you
the
seen
one
my
at-
store?
Yeah. I tried to get Becky to help.
Becky didn't do this.
She did that. Did you do this?
I did it all.
Well, this is fabulous.
Well, I mean, with him and them and they, that does jump me to something because this is something that interests me.
Yeah.
It's a we thing in here. There's no way I can do what I do without the right people.
Sure.
So, were you always a team player, or do you find that you run? Because you say you're not a leader, but I've been around you.
I definitely don't see you as a follower.
She's not.
definitely
No.
not a follower.
No, but she will follow because I've watched her with John. I mean, she'll follow like her job, and she does her job very well. But behind her, she to me is like the engine, and John's the body. And that doesn't mean that's not a disrespect to him in any way.
No.
But there's a front person, and there's somebody behind them.
I like being behind the scenes.
But you clean up all the loose ends. Because there's a lot. You clean up loose ends. Like when he's talking and he moves on, he's talked about something. I've seen you behind him talking to the person he was talking to, finalizing something or another. And
John's really good at what he does. He's
no doubt.
brilliantly good at what he does.
Does it sound like I'm wearing him out?
No,
Okay,
it doesn't.
good.
It doesn't.
I
I know that you like.
okay, no, I'm bringing him back.
No, yeah.
Because I've made some notes with him on his interview.
Yeah.
No, but in any business,
And John truly cares about people. I think that when you have and he models that for sure for Kelly and I.
John exudes that. I don't think
100%.
I
He's
think
a steward of relationships.
100%.
1,000%.
And that was one of the things we spent time on talking was, I mean, you could just see John. John made me comfortable talking about, and just the way he watches, and
he's not judgmental.
no, it's sincere.
He models that 100%.
Now we've stroked John enough. Can we get back on you? Okay, so listen, this is authentically raw. I love John, and when John walks in a room, his presence speaks for himself.
Sure.
He doesn't have to have people tell him.
And you don't ever know what he's going to say.
No, and I found that out on here, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
He made a couple comments that I did not think, because I did see it as
We talk about weed and stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but
I forget what it was.
it was on. Y'all go watch the John Cantrell.
He made some comments about
And you were kind of surprised.
Yeah.
That John, Mm-hmm.
Well, being a public figure, but that's what's endearing about him.
Well,
is John's real.
I think that is everyone's superpower.
But he never goes over the line. I mean, John's just very good at, well, at least around me and around in the public.
No, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's human, but anyways. So
But no, go back to what you said.
So with like to me, you're like behind the scenes, but you really lead from behind. You're gonna hate admitting this, and I'm not gonna stop until I get there. You lead from the damn behind. Like that's an out of context right there. Let me tell you. We have this game. I got to get a board here because I would go right on there. We're gonna take clips. What we need to do is you write down the time. Like you give me the time marker, and we start. Like, what's the time marker right there?
43:07.
43:07.
I do like being behind the scenes.
Yeah, you
Period.
do. No,
Yeah.
I see that.
I do like that.
But you like the end result of the hard work put in.
Yeah. And I like what I like.
Yeah.
So I don't always think I'm a team player.
Yeah.
I mean, I like what I like.
But sometimes you have
But
to
I
be the
can-
ramrod, don't you? I mean, your position is not always John gets to be the good guy.
Yeah, the unicorn.
John. Okay, now let's really talk.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
John.
John.
Right.
And Kelly.
Hello, John.
Hello.
They're like, oh my gosh, I did something wrong, or I got to fix something, or you.
Or, Katherine, we have a problem.
Yes.
Can we talk to you about it first?
Or they're trying to get to John, and you are the blocker.
Before we talk to John.
That's Dave.
Yeah, before
Dave's
we
my-
talk to John about it, here's what we want to talk to John
Yep.
about. Do you think it's worth talking,
Yep.
Yeah.
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 But it does save a lot of time.
Sure.
So before you were with the chamber, what did you do? I'm
So
gonna have to back up with her. I can tell. I tried to go forward. We're going
So
back.
we went.
We're
real
going.
quick.
I got it, Dave. We're good. She would jump right back.
Oh,
in
yeah.
We're going to walk backwards. So
So
what did you do
I-
before the chamber?
I always worked in show business. And then this awful
That's what I was looking for. I did not know that.
this awful thing called COVID
Okay.
happened. And so then this is so crazy. I mean, I went to
Wait,
work.
but you're in showbiz. That's. I mean,
Yeah, I worked-
what? I mean,
around
what-
here. Or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked local. I opened the Thrasher Horn
Oh, really?
before it was not that there's anything wrong with it
Right.
now, but you get a new college
Yep.
president, new visionary. When it
Yep.
had a true Broadway series and the
Yes.
art galleries which is why I went. I have a double major, so
Art, obviously.
yeah, visual arts.
Visual
and
art.
my parents wanted me to eat, so they were smart. They're like,
That is true.
my mom was like, you can never depend on a man.
Yeah.
Got to have an education.
Yeah. Have you found that to be true?
100%. 100%.
Mama was right then.
100%. So, and then I was fortunate enough when the inaugural executive director left, brilliant man, who they were fortunate enough to hire,
Right.
Tony Walsh. When he left, I went and worked at the Florida Theater.
Where'd you go to school?
I graduated from Orange Park, and then I
So you're local. You
I college hopped for
college
a little
hop.
bit.
I did that.
I college hopped.
I did Liberty, and then I did.
I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I always thought I was going to go to law school. I mean,
Okay. So when did you start narrowing that down? What age?
well, so the truth is, I really wanted to go to law school at UVA.
Sure.
Okay, and my entire family, the men, they all went to Virginia Tech, and I couldn't afford out-of-state tuition.
Yeah.
In the Commonwealth, you can do this thing called it's called a domicile paper.
Right.
So because I was born in the Commonwealth, lived there most of my life. Well,
Right.
probably anyhow. Yeah, my dad refused to pay it because he's like, no child of mine is going to go to UVA. I mean, they hate each other more than the Gators in Florida State.
Oh no, you're right, because Tanner Thomas from Fleming Island is Zach's best buddy, and then he plays with Zach at the Savannah Bananas. Well, he's a party animal.
Yeah.
But he's a VT alumni.
Yeah.
He played baseball
At Virginia Tech. Yeah.
Blacksburg's fun.
Blacksburg is
Blacksburg is
Yeah.
fun.
It's a beautiful stadium.
It's beautiful. Yeah, Lane
Beautiful.
Stadium's incredible.
Yeah. I always liked y'all's coach. Who's the coach that
Beamer
left?
was who we had, Frank Beamer.
Yeah, and now his son, was not
Shane
impressed
Beamer
with.
at South Carolina.
Yeah, I was not impressed.
Nope.
Love him.
Really?
I like him.
He's not his daddy. He's not his daddy.
No, but I mean, Earnhardt Jr. wasn't his daddy
I know,
either.
but
That
I
was
think there's a
disappointing.
lot of pressure on Shane to be. Why are we talking about sports?
Because it's football.
I love sports, but
There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with it.
No, there's not.
You know something? Money is ruining it for me.
Well, it'll be interesting. And Tech didn't have, as long as we beat UVA, I don't really care what happens the whole season.
Which is sort of weird because y'all aren't really nationally prominent, but y'all are like rabid fans. Oh, she just got insulted right there. What do you mean we're not? I mean,
well, I hate that when people, the SEC, it's the conference.
help me, Dave. I didn't mean SEC. Well, no, Dave was in it. I didn't mean help me
can't-
start a fight,
Yeah,
Dave.
I mean, I just, we lobbied hard. Anyhow, yeah.
No, but you know what? It is true. We don't get Virginia Tech down as much. They had, back when they had, who's the lefty quarterback? Vic?
Yeah.
I mean,
That was
they,
a way long time ago.
Now,
I know,
are
but
you
I'm
a
just
Cavalier
walking
fan
up.
or are you a Tech fan?
she's a Tech.
But she wanted to go to UVA.
Well, I mean and I also thought that Rondé and Tiki Barber, when they played football
Right.
at UVA, they were amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were.
and make no mistake, I would have happily gone to school at UVA.
But your family wasn't having it.
Yeah, and probably still rooted. Like some of my favorite memories are. This is true. It's one of my most favorite granddad. I had this Granddad Jack. It's one of my favorites. So we went over for homecoming, UVA. We whooped their ass at homecoming. Why they want to play us at homecoming, I don't know. But somehow, I don't even know how this.
She's a trash talker at the games.
Oh, yeah.
No, I really don't. Unless
Really?
I drink a little bit.
Okay.
But if my granddad's there, I don't
Yeah.
drink.
Okay, gotcha.
Kind of like toast that.
Good girl.
So my uncle does it all for all of us. So,
Moonshine comes out and it's over.
Yeah. So like the real stuff, not what
I
we
know.
have here. So,
I'm from North Carolina.
okay,
I got
so
you.
you
Yeah,
got it.
I
So
got it.
anyhow, yeah, we killed them. Homecoming. We're sitting in the student section at UVA. Sweet granddaddy. We were like the only Tech people. There were a few more. But my sweet granddaddy, bless his heart, he is telling them, good game, good game. I mean, we've whooped their butt as they're, and he's
So they think he's a smart ass.
Yes, and he's sweet, and cute because he's my grandfather. If you saw him, but he was being sincere.
But a bunch of drunk
and
Virginia
he was
students.
like shaking. Oh, they're uptight to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, and so he's shaking their hand. And we got to walk like
Oh, he shook their hands.
shaking their hands.
You sure he wasn't being a smart ass?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay, because
he
that
didn't have a rotten bone in his
Okay.
body that way.
I trust
He
you.
was a prankster, but I mean, he
Understood.
didn't have a rotten bone
Understood.
in his body.
So he
that
was just
way.
truly being kind.
Truly, I mean,
Huh?
yeah, he's like, yeah, he was the best.
And what were the guys doing when he was grabbing their hands?
Oh, but it's your granddad, you know. So
Okay, so they're not gonna
it's
hit
like
him.
Everybody's granddad. He's shaking their hand back.
Okay.
Okay. He's like, that guy's probably not right.
So, what's up?
But I have learned, you know, we recently went to a frat party
Right.
in Tallahassee. I took some of the chamber members there.
You went to a frat party.
Yes.
Now, did you revert back to your college years that you never had?
No, because I'm going to straight up tell you. And I went to the Pike House. It was at
Okay.
the Pike House.
Right.
I went there when I was in college. I
Okay.
dated a guy when I was in high school that
Yeah.
was at Florida State. So anyhow, number one.
Why did y'all go?
Well, I'm going to tell
And
you
why did they let y'all in?
Well, so we got.
She's me, Dave.
Oh,
So
that's
we-
us getting into club in South Carolina.
Oh yeah,
No, this is what happened. So we went. I went with. I'm not going to say who.
yeah. Please.
Well,
don't.
one of them doesn't care, but the other
Right.
one, her employer was like, "Oh my god,
Okay.
they're chamber members. They're grown. I feel like we should be able to do whatever bad decisions we want to make." And
I
the
agree.
only bad decision that we made that night was that we stayed up until 3:30, because when you're 50 and 50 plus, and you stay up until 3:30 in the morning, we were not drinking
Right.
because we were driving.
Right.
Also, did you know? Well, that's a whole nother topic, but
It doesn't matter. Fire away.
the Waffle House there, like it's open 24 hours in a college town,
Yeah.
but you can't go in. They serve you through a window.
That makes
Really?
sense. All the
I
fights.
don't understand that one.
Because
I
all
didn't
the
wanna fight, I
fights.
just wanted to sit down and have a waffle.
I go sit on Blanding at 2 when I'm in a bad mood. And I just watch all the drunks come
Oh,
in.
it's funny.
Well,
I'll go eat
I mean,
dinner.
I love the Waffle House, but so we go to a bar. First, let me tell you.
Why did y'all go to the why
So
did
we
the
were
chamber
in-
say I'm gonna pay for y'all to go to a party?
Well, they didn't. We were done working.
Okay, gotcha. And
We
y'all
were
just said I'm
done working, so we worked all day.
Gotcha.
Understand, from like 6:30 in the morning until I don't know, because John invited some folks to come back to the
and
hotel.
why wasn't I called?
Everybody's invited, so I'll make sure to call you next time.
I mean, I tallies 2.5 hours.
We went over. It's called Clay Day, so it's when all the businesses and
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a second.
You
no,
know about this.
no. You mean that you're not putting lipstick on me and we're playing puff football with the girls from the other thing?
No, I mean that could probably have happened. It
like-
might have happened before we got there.
Oh, this
So-
is like a bunch of old people walking
No.
around with suits.
No, yeah, there is some of that, but it's
Okay.
fun. I mean, we have a really good time.
Dave, I had this whole visual going on. There's a whole bunch of movies about it, and
So let me tell you. Then we go, we do all the work stuff, and 1:30 in the morning, and we're like, we should get a drink. So we went to Bullwinkle's. Even to Bullwinkle's, every bad decision happens at
I
Bullwinkle's.
ran into a tree.
And you got invited back to the frat house.
These girls came up to us, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
were like, do you want to go to a frat party? And I said,
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And the people I were with were like, no.
It's an
Catherine,
experience.
We're not doing that.
It's an experience.
And so I'm like,
You
you're
don't
not
pass it.
doing that. I'll go in the Uber with them.
Yep.
And
Yep.
someone said, if something happens to her, we will be in trouble with John.
So they had to go.
I don't really think John would care. And
Yes, he would. But go
might
ahead.
have.
Oh, he would.
well,
If you
any-
got hurt here, he'd come talk to me.
no, probably not.
Brett, can we talk? As kind as he could.
I'm pretty accident prone, so I
Yeah.
don't think so. But
Anyways.
so yeah, we went and they drove, and the whole way there, I get the lecture. We're not getting separated.
No.
Don't drink anything, Catherine.
Don't drink to punch.
Yeah, don't. If you have to use the bathroom, we all go together.
Okay.
You know, like, I mean, outrageous.
And how quickly were you gone?
Well, so we pull in to this parking lot, and it's like a snow. I'm dressing up like it for
Right.
Halloween. So, you know, and mind you, I had like 3 energy drinks.
Right.
I'm ready
Right.
to go.
Right.
So, you know, but there are kids having sex in the bushes. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's like
It's
something from
Tallahassee.
the movies.
Yeah.
But we pull around because you can hear this music, and it's not a house; it's a mansion.
Right.
So you pull around, and all I could see was the top rigging of like stage, lights,
Yep.
LED screen.
They
and
do
I'm
it
like,
right.
I said, "We're fixing." I did. I looked at both of them. I'm like, "We're getting ready to have the best night of our life."
Yeah. A
And we
movie
walked
just
in-
happened.
Yeah, we walked in up. Well, one of them, they put a heart on her hand. It's because she didn't have her ID. She thought it was because she was blonde and cute, which she is, all of those things. But it's because she didn't have her ID.
That made her night.
Newsflash, she wasn't drinking anyway. She doesn't want to be here. She's scared. I'm just kidding. Not a little bit. And then,
But
we
not as
walk
comfortable
in,
as you.
And both of them, they're like, oh my God, this is the best. And those kids, we had the best time with them.
Absolutely.
We were like an anomaly there.
Yep.
Whose mom are you? No
Yep.
one's.
Yep.
You know?
Yes. To them, it's a
And
movie
then I
as well.
told the bouncer guy, I'm like, I want to see what this looks like, you know, from the stage.
Yeah.
I want to go up where they're spinning and he was like, well, what? And I'm like, I'm 50.
Right.
I might die.
Right.
He's like, I don't believe you're 50. Great. You want to see my driver's license? Why, yes, I do. So needless to say, it was amazing. It was
Okay,
fun.
Dave, she got on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen if I went and asked the bouncer, stop back?
Yep.
And then I'm in jail.
I asked really nice. And I said, I just got
I
to
asked
see what
nice.
this looks like I was in awe.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
So now you'll have the story of 50
And next
plus.
year, I'm going to charge money to hang out with me in Tallahassee.
That's freaking awesome. Okay, by the way,
And
during my gangster music days,
yeah.
there's a white guy who rides around in a Charger. I can't think of his name right now. I got a picture.
Is he
of him.
Armenian? Is his
No,
name
he's
Danny?
blonde hair.
Oh.
And
Does
but
he own a strip club?
no,
Oh.
no, but he gets paid to go hang out with all the
Oh,
mid-level
yeah.
rappers
Yeah,
and be
yeah.
in their movies, and I mean, he's blown up, and he's just this
He's
nerdy.
Local. Is he local
Yeah,
or is he Atlanta?
yeah, no,
Oh.
he's local.
Oh.
We used to do videos downtown Jacksonville, but this is gangster rap, so this isn't like regular rap.
So I had to learn a lot about all of that.
I learned a lot about all that.
That's an interesting world to program.
It is.
To market, it's for sure. You know, they don't. Is the
They
first
don't
time-
adhere to the rules.
Well, and you have to make friends with people that own like barber shops and
Yes, or buildings where people may not have come out of.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a heart attack audience because
Mm-hmm.
it's cash.
Yep.
They wait to the last minute to
Yep.
come.
And they will hustle you on the street if you're not careful.
Yeah.
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 I bought Orange Crush,
Oh, you
the
did.
historical Black College
Yeah.
Festival.
Yeah.
Now, this is about 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so before I knew it, I was having to get nods from people on the east
Sure, I'm
side.
sure.
Well, I'm walking down, and we're meeting underneath bridges. I'm walking down Sutel at 2:00 in the morning,
Sure. Yeah.
and I'm safe.
Yeah.
And all I hear is them calling out the names.
yeah,
and I ain't, and now I was never, but now I had security with me too.
But doesn't it
always.
make you feel good? Like some days, maybe this didn't happen to you, but there are some days I will get in the car. I just put on some nasty music.
Yes.
And it just.
Well, I do TikTok live. So,
Oh, yeah,
so there's times where people aren't talking,
and
I just
exclusively
put.
if I clean my house, that's what I'm listening
Yeah,
to.
Tupac is my fave, so I love to put Tupac on there.
Easy E.
Are
Eazy-E.
you a Prince guy or a Michael Jackson guy?
I'd go Prince.
That's the right answer.
Yeah,
Always.
I mean he was something different. Michael was really good.
When he was a kid.
Yeah, but he lost me with all the showmanship. Prince was showman, but man, his words were there was depth to what he did.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't like him back then because all you girls loved him, and you had him on your little notebooks and all the pictures.
I never
The
had.
poster and the.
Yeah,
No, I never.
I didn't stand a damn chance.
What was the first record you bought?
Okay, I told you I grew up with an AM radio.
Yeah.
The first record I
That's
had.
why I asked you what I asked
Yeah,
you.
the first record I had was AC/DC, but it was back in black. But it was when you could do the two tapes came out, and so somebody made me a tape and I snuck it in because it was an AM radio, but it had a cassette player. I got you, mama. So all of a sudden I started getting black, and it was really bad, but yeah, back in black.
Which is now so tame. That's like.
It is. Now I really like I mean I like Frank Sinatra, but I used to fly to Brazil a lot,
Oh.
and so I would have
Just to go.
no we bought furniture and we had factory back when the Hayas was really good in the 90s,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and all importing was going from Brazil.
Yeah.
And we would go to Brazil, and I also went with Christian Missions Unlimited, great place.
Yeah.
They build churches, and we would go build churches over there. And so you get to know the people. And
Right.
I never been to Rio de Janeiro, never been to all the big. I mean, I flew into Belém. and
Where
all-
did you go? When you?
Oh God, man! If I have to name them, I'll never. I have to look at my
I
calendar.
mean, were you on the river?
Oh yeah, I went. I spent 3 days on one of those boats,
Yeah.
going up the Amazon
Yeah.
to the point where it was black, and then the dolphins are pink, and people
yeah,
don't realize
yeah.
it how pink. And then we
love it.
would swim in the Amazon.
Yeah, which is
And-
crazy. You should
yeah.
do that.
Well, you think because you're thinking piranhas,
No,
but it's the
thinking-
other thing that
Yes.
goes. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
no! And then
yeah.
come to find out, my sister, it was her cycle.
oh God,
We knew nothing. Now, I'm in the water. For those of y'all that don't know, in Brazil, let me be somewhat clear. Okay, there's an animal that goes into, and it has, so it doesn't come out.
yuck.
Is that? Yeah, and it's very and they have to do surgery. I
Yeah,
mean,
to
it's
remove it.
no joke. You have to remove it.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah, I got out of the water pretty quick. So, but I did go 3 days. I felt like Mark Twain. I went 3 days upstream, and then we went peacock bass fishing.
Yeah.
Peacock bass are these they hit like a red striper, but they're a bass and they're way up in the Amazon. I mean,
And they don't taste good.
no.
No.
And I haven't but they're fun to catch.
Yeah.
And I had people whose family still lived in the forest as Indians.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the one that carved all my paddles and everything.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and he's the one that taught
Did
me.
you when you went? Did you sleep on those boats?
Oh yeah.
You were on the boat.
Oh yeah, I was on the.
And they make the.
Oh yeah, and I'm 6'3", so I couldn't stand
right,
up.
Yeah.
And then we got on the double decker for 2 days coming back up. That was probably one of my most and we went. My dad grew up in Florianopolis,
Okay.
which is South Brazil, right on
yeah,
the coast.
Yeah.
And he and I, he was showing me where
So
he
is
grew
he
up.
Are you a Brazilian too?
No, my grandfather was a missionary, and so my dad grew up in Brazil.
So how wild is that? So my great grandparents, missionaries. My grandfather, Bobo, which is
Yeah.
Portuguese,
Yeah.
or grandfather, born in Brazil.
Really?
Yeah. So, but what's interesting, so going back to my grandmothers, the strong ladies, my mom's mom, deathly afraid of the water, right? Didn't swim. I mean, all the things, like
Right.
terrified of it. Had a big lake house down at Keystone. Have great childhood memories
Right.
there. Made sure we all knew how to swim,
Right.
but she herself, not
No,
a
no,
swimmer.
you don't have to go
Am
too
I
far.
good?
No,
Okay.
you're good.
Not a swimmer.
Just a little bit.
So when she was 78,
Yeah.
almost 80 years old, she had collected glasses, like eyeglasses, for, I don't know, probably, we were like, what are you doing, Va?
There's a collector for everything.
Yeah. But you know why she did it? She went on a mission trip on one of those
Oh
boats
yes.
and gave them out. And
yes.
Yes. And we thought this was nuts because we're like, you understand, you're going to be living on a boat and you don't like water and you're 80 years old. No, this is what I'm doing.
But when you get,
She loved it.
I
She was gone for 2 months.
Yep.
She lived on a boat for 2 months.
Yep.
Never swam, was terrible. Wouldn't even put her my grandmother had beautiful legs. Wouldn't even put her legs.
better than my calves.
Yeah.
Okay,
She'd
damn it.
kill you at OnlyFans. But she wouldn't understand OnlyFans.
Right.
But yeah, she wouldn't even put him in the pool. Wouldn't get
Wow.
him, didn't like water. But went on a boat.
Those boats are very comfortable though. I will tell you.
They are, but
Hearing the engine, bum, 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 bum. It's like one of those old.
with no air conditioning.
no
There
air
was no air
conditioning.
conditioning.
No, it's Brazil.
And I mean, and there's wildlife.
Oh.
Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, no, they're all over.
Yeah.
I mean, the python.
And some of the people aren't super friendly.
No, they'll eat you.
I
No,
wasn't
they'll
gonna say
literally
that,
eat
but
you.
yeah.
They'll eat you. You don't pull off the side. There's Indians that live in the woods. They don't speak Portuguese. The Brazilian people leave them alone. And I mean,
And they like it that way.
yeah, they love it. And that
It's like
Pina Pina's his name. He's a friend of mine on Facebook now. He's still in Brazil, but Pina, his family still lives in the forest, and he walks around barefooted. His feet are all wide, and he taught me fishing. And there's no rod, and really just took the rod.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's great.
Oh, I'd walk the streets with him, and he was a big
Small
guy.
world. What a small world.
Yeah.
That we both, yeah.
But Brazil, that says a lot. Because there's something about Brazil. If you're not in the Rio de Janeiro world, if you're in that, there's a flow to the Brazilian time that is just, it's different.
I want to go to Carnival. I want to have that experience.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I love New Orleans.
So
No,
New Orleans doesn't compare.
I know,
The
but I mean,
festival down in Brazil is I'm just gonna speak my experience is perverse.
Really?
The devil's right there. This is just my experience. Now there are people that love it, and there are people, but it's it's the Day of the Dead, is the party.
Carnival, yeah.
Okay, well go look up Parentim, Brazil. I mean, I've been there. Every pool has a Red Bull in it.
Yeah.
And then there's these young girls walking around on it because Parentim, Brazil is an island. It's just, I don't know.
I think it'd be fun to get a
But
Carnival.
but you know what? Now let me back up.
All the pageantry, all the.
Let me back up.
That's
the dark side.
Right.
It's like anything.
I mean,
There's
anything, right?
there's a dark side to everything.
Mardi Gras, same.
That's and well, that would be the side I'd get sucked into. I was on Parentim Island. It was just weird.
Yeah.
The people were weird there, and they weren't the normal Brazil. I mean, it's an island. There just wasn't the normal Brazilian flow that I'd gotten used to. When I got back over, and I was on a mission trip, and I visited Parentim. So when I got back over, I was back in, and I have never sat there during a festival. So, but I just
I think it'd be fun to go to the Junkaroo Festival in the Bahamas.
yeah.
I mean, I think those kind of things you.
See, there's so much in America for me to see, and I have traveled a lot of America,
yeah.
but I don't know. I have so much more I want to see in America. I mean,
Like what? What's your bucket list?
well, it's the redo, like the Grand Canyon, and to really spend a week down there fishing, to go up the Snake River,
Yeah.
to whitewater raft down it.
Yeah.
I never did. I was a kid, and so I mean, I was there, and I don't think I really experienced it. Go back to Washington.
Washington State.
No, DC.
DC.
Just
DC is awesome.
There's so much.
Well, I went to
I
DC
love history
when my
so.
parents got a divorce. That's what we did.
Yeah.
The nanny took us, or maybe my mom. I don't even remember. We went to see the pandas. We came home. We didn't live at home anymore.
Okay, I picked up on something. Nanny, did you come from a affluent neighborhood, a family?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. What,
We
you
had
had
a
a
person.
nanny?
Bernice.
I mean, you had a nanny.
Bernice.
I know,
We
but you had a
Bernice.
nanny. Dave, she had a nanny.
Her name was
Did you grow up with a nanny?
No.
What kind of cars did your parents drive? Porsches, Mercedes?
No.
Beat up cars?
No.
Okay, I'm a hush. Okay. So you get out of college,
Yeah.
you go, your first job is going to be in music.
No. I actually was a newspaper reporter.
So another right place, right time. So you,
And then, yeah, I put the word, this is the story. I put the word vagina in the newspaper.
you got fired.
No, I didn't get fired. Why would I get fired?
I don't know how newspaper. I thought it was going to be some bomb, right, Dave?
Yeah.
I don't really.
You can put vagina in the.
No, you technically, I mean,
Not these days.
Yeah.
well, I don't know what we should be calling it in the newspaper. And keep in mind, my mom's dad, he was the chief of staff and an OBGYN. So we talked about vaginas at Thanksgiving dinner. That to me is not we talked about body parts. There.
My best friend has a art. It's called art. He calls it art, and it is the torso down to the legs right here, and it is the JJ.
Well,
the cookie.
so anyhow, I put it in the yeah, I put it in the
It's art.
probably. I mean,
They sell it. Anyways, go ahead.
put it in the newspaper, and Harry Shorstein called.
Oh.
And so it was funny. I had to go and interview this guy that was opening this art center on College Drive.
I know. Yeah.
And so I was really bad attitude because, I've just gotten reamed out by good old Harry Shorstein. Good old Harry. Asshole. So, and long story short,
Asshole.
he said, what is wrong? And I was like, you're crazy. Why would you move to Clay County? You're gay. This is years ago.
Yeah.
As you said, the county has changed a
It
lot.
has changed.
Why would you move here?
Right.
You're going to try to have Broadway and modern dance. Die
Right.
laughing. You
Right.
can do it right.
The mud and trucks ride by.
You
Right.
do it right. And he's like, what is she? It's just, well, here's what happened. And then this is how I know you're not going to be successful. So I told him what had happened. And he's like, you're going to end up coming to work for me. And true story, I did. So, and then.
Because
yeah.
of that?
Yeah.
Because just the boldness?
No, because I don't know.
I think it's the boldness.
So.
I think you're willing to say what needs to be said.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or
that isn't really being, what should you, well, I mean, that's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
It's just fun to see how people continue to tie it together is what I look for. Is like how you build on what you get there.
So from there, when he left, I knew I did not want to work for the new guy that we hired.
Yeah.
Just, you know how you get a feeling about people? And my gut feelings are never, ever wrong. In fact, the only time I ever get in trouble is when I don't listen to them. So it was bizarre. The Florida Theater called, and they had hired this marketing guy, Vinny from New York. And it turned out Vinny wasn't really doing any marketing.
Vinny was just hanging out?
Yeah, and so they're like, we're in a pickle. And I was actually going to go and sell pharmaceuticals.
Right.
Drugs. I was going to be a drug seller. I was going to sell Eliquis for Bristol Myers Squibb.
Good money, too.
Probably.
Yeah.
So,
Eliquis?
yeah. Do you take it?
Yep.
It's good. It's a good drug.
What's
It's
it
one of the
for?
best blood thinner. For AFib and stuff?
Yeah, it's one of the best. You can still have vegetables on it. It's super high in the
Yeah,
Aristotles.
it's a lot better than Coumadin.
Yeah, so much better. Anyways, we go down the whole. So yeah, I went and they called. Florida Theater called and they're like, yeah, can you just come help straighten it out? And I was like, sure.
How old were you?
Oh.
Just ballpark.
I don't know.
How long ago was it?
150. When was COVID?
20.
I was
20.
probably in my late 30s.
All right, so 20.
Yeah.
2010.
My ex used to have all her dance recitals at the
Who's
Florida
your
Theater.
ex?
Terry Humphreys.
What's the
Betty
dance club?
Sullivan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was before my time, friend.
Was it?
Yeah.
So you turn it around.
I didn't turn anything around. I mean, that was a good team effort. Showbiz is small. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
You know.
But,
you know what
together y'all turned it around.
Yeah, and the truth is, the skills that I learned there that I didn't have, I don't know if I should say this, but it's the truth. I worked for it was the first time in my life that I worked for a really difficult man. So.
Learned how to handle that, or?
I don't.
Yeah. Or learn what you didn't want. Sometimes bad can teach me,
Well, no, I mean, I developed for sure. I learned. Yeah, I mean, I guess I never thought about it that way, but 100%.
Did it make you a better manager?
I don't know. I was always in protection mode of my people. Does that make sense?
It does.
So always and it's funny. When I left, and I still save this pictures on my screensaver, so in case I ever
That's weird. I save pictures.
So
a bad moment.
We're all zooming in. Got to have something because Catherine's gonna leave.
Yeah.
So it's the right thing to do. We're having freaking COVID. Nobody knows what to do right now, right? The whole world's a hot mess. But so we decided to do a Zoom happy hour. Stupid. So
not during COVID. It was weird doing everything we could to talk to somebody.
I didn't want to talk to any of these people. I just wanted to leave.
Oh, good. Okay.
I mean, show business. We literally, I'll never forget this. You know how people always say, oh, well, I know right where I was when 9/11.
Right.
All these things. I can clearly remember sitting down it was in March, and we're not going to do anything. And city owns the building. So city-owned building. We're not going to do anything. I mean, we had Kenny G going up on the stage that night, Friday night, with big Kenny G. And nice guy, all the things.
Right.
Sold out REO Speedwagon on a Monday.
Absolutely.
So great to sell on a Monday night show.
Yeah.
All the things. Everything's just come out of a really,
So you were the one doing that. I used to drive by all the time.
Strong February, all the things. And we're not going to do anything. Great. I'm going to go home.
Right.
I don't like Kenny G. I'm going to go home.
Right.
I hadn't anymore gotten off the interstate. And of course, everything now happens in real time.
Right.
So people start pinging me, and Numa, my difficult boss, he did a curtain speech every night, which people loved.
Right.
And do you think that's nice? If I was going to say something nice about Numa, he
Right.
gave great curtain speeches.
Right.
He did other things that were nice.
Right.
But he walked out and he goes, well, this is going to be the last show. So, of course, all these people are calling. I literally got off the interstate. I just got off
Turned
the
around.
ramp and went right
Yep.
back up the.
Yep.
And it was funny, my office, this is before the remodel. So it was all the way, Numa's almost to the end. Numa's office was the end. Then I was the office. Well, I walked in, but it was over the marquee. So
Right.
it was always, and it was all windows. It was always, if the marquee was flashing, it was nighttime. It was
Right.
light, And I had this chair. Do you remember those old RCA commercials? And the guy would go flying back in the
Oh, yeah.
chair. So I had a chair like that in my office. I don't know where it came from. And really, your body stank into it.
Yeah.
And never put another chair because I figured out pretty good. That chair's not comfortable. People aren't going to stay in here. And we actually got shit to do. So we
Smart.
don't have time to,
Keep him around.
yeah, we just don't. We don't have time. So I walk in and I don't even see Numa because he's sunk in the chair and the lights are off. His feet are on my desk. And I don't turn the lights on because I think I'm going to have to go find all these people. He goes, so, Katherine, that was a really stupid thing I did. Scared me to death.
You didn't know he's there.
No. And
Okay.
I was like, what? Yeah. It's totally.
Yeah.
So the theater closed down. We didn't know what to do. It's very, and then it became really depressing because,
It was your life.
well, and you're now you're not canceling anything.
Right.
You're postponing it.
You're in limbo.
Yeah. Which it was
It's worse than death.
yeah. It was a lot. And then, you're isolated because we all spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And you had no life when I
Yeah.
did that. So now you don't have your people
Yeah.
and your rhythm is kind of screwed up a little bit.
Was the money good?
Oh, I made great money.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the stress level had to be.
No, I actually loved what I did. I got where I didn't like the people I did it with.
That sucks.
Does that make sense?
100%. And that's the kind of stuff that people
And by
resonate
that,
with.
and I liked most of the people.
No, I
did it.
understand.
I was always super fortunate to be able to hire people that were smarter than I was,
Yep.
particularly in a skill set that I didn't have. They were always gracious to, you don't know what you don't know.
Yep.
And I always want to learn stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Do you think you'll go back? I mean, do you see
No,
a-
I'm probably sure I've aged out of all of that. I mean,
Really?
Yeah.
But I mean,
I
You were-
interviewed last year.
Oh.
I had the opportunity. Yeah.
so but you're not on stage necessarily, right? So
No.
how do you age out of it? I mean, even
I mean, I think that you always want people who are young.
oh, I got you.
and-
Okay, to be
Yeah, and you
to
can stay at work until 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and then be back at 8 o'clock.
yeah.
next
Okay,
morning,
okay, that's what you're saying.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I can. I just can't.
I can't.
Really. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
like my sleep now.
Yeah, 4 hours and I'm good.
I don't. I couldn't function.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pull. Sometimes I'll pull an all nighter. No, I don't feel. I'll feel okay till about 3 o'clock the next day, and then I'll catch me a little hour cat
Yeah.
nap.
I can't do that anymore.
I don't know where it came from.
I don't.
I've always been that way as a kid and everything. So professionally, are you satisfied?
Yeah.
You like where you are?
Yeah.
I mean, you are around a lot of people.
Yeah.
So what would be the best skill set that you have that allows you to deal with all the different personalities you run into?
You
And it
just
may be a
listen.
multiple.
You just listen.
So be a good listener.
People want to be heard.
Damn it. Okay, Dave. Be a good listener. Because there is that old saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you
Yep.
care.
People just want to be heard.
Yep. Active listening.
Mm-hmm.
What would you think would be a good skill? I mean, a good exercise for people? Because I have people that I know that are they think they're listeners and they don't really actively listen. They think they listen. Can you tell when somebody's not like
Yes.
dialed in? Right.
Yes, I hate it. It's rude.
rude.
So rude.
Okay, thank you.
It's a waste of time, my time,
And
your
we
time.
know it, and
yeah, and yet you're pretending.
but do you shut
And
it
I think
down?
that's a character. Yes.
See, I don't,
And I call it right out.
and I don't.
I can tell you're bored with this. I
I
put it
don't.
right on them.
But that's uncomfortable for them. Now, only in a business atmosphere you do that,
All right,
or
let
would
me
you do
ask-
it personally as
I
well?
would do it personally as well.
Huh? No, this is where I grow because I'm trying to figure out. Do I need? I guess I have gotten a little more in here
Yeah.
of shutting things down.
Very much so.
Okay, keep going because my brain's going. Now I'm
Well, I
processing.
mean, there's
so you shut them down.
You can do it in a nice way. I believe this. I don't always get it right. I think you can say anything you need to say as long as your delivery. It's all about your delivery.
My delivery sucks, doesn't it?
Well, you need to work on that then.
My delivery sucks.
No, don't.
No.
Okay, let me ask you this. Help me a little bit. So you give the right message with the right delivery 1 time, 2 times, 3 times.
Yeah.
And then when do you give that direct message?
Always. You should be giving the direct communication. I mean, I think we make communication something that it doesn't.
Very difficult.
That it's not.
Thank you. Preach.
I 100% believe that. So here's for instance. The other night, I had a person over at my house for dinner, a boy. I don't normally, a man.
Right.
I don't normally cook, not a boy. It's 2020. You got to be,
Do tell. No.
it's got to be, it's
Yeah,
2025. You got to be careful what
yeah,
you
you
say. So,
Not that there's anything wrong with that for them cougars out there.
if you like that kind of
That's
stuff.
right. Exactly.
No, so it was interesting. And I'd worked all day. Wasn't really like,
Start talking about cougars and I drop my pen.
oh Lord,
Go ahead.
sticking in the
go.
bullshit meter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it was funny. So this is a stupid example, but it's not at the same time.
Pitch it.
So he said, I put carrots into the salad. I made a salad.
Right.
I put carrots in the salad.
Okay.
They weren't shredded. They were just the little baby carrots.
Right.
You want to know why I didn't have any shredded carrots?
No, why?
Just put what carrots were in my refrigerator. And he said, there's nothing wrong with these carrots, but I prefer shredded carrots in a salad. And you could tell he was uncomfortable saying it.
Right.
And my response was, well, thanks. That's good to know. If I ever make you a salad again, I'll know. The point of this is we make things be a big deal.
He's waiting for this big blow up.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
gosh! And shred your own.
Yeah, I mean, good to know.
true.
Good to know. But I mean, the carrot is a tiny, I think 1,000 times a day, we make communication super duper hard.
Yeah. Is it for me? And
It's
we
a
had,
security thing.
we had a Mel on here, and I was in A. Was it me? Mel A to B. No, it was Zach Elkins.
Yep.
A to B. I'm like A's the problem, B's the
Yeah,
solution,
yeah.
and C's all the gossip and all the headache and the
Yeah.
what ifs, and
Yeah.
then you waste all this energy on the worry
that
of what
was-
if.
That
There's-
wasn't Zach. That was Mel.
But there's
Yeah.
two types of people. So there's problem solvers
Yeah.
and pot stirrers.
Yeah.
And the pot stirrer people, they're the middle.
Yeah.
I had this conversation today with a friend who's having, and I said, the problem is, and it's not a problem, it's just a fact. You are a problem solver. And the deal is you try to problem solve with a pot stirrer. Period.
What about authenticity?
It's everything.
I know. Do you
It's
find
everything.
that it makes people uncomfortable?
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I have to be very careful on this, but I just ran into a legal issue where I was sitting and my authenticity played a part in the way I was handled. It's not over yet, but if my life experiences tells me anything, I'm fixing to get short end of the stick.
Probably because you're honest.
But even my looks are, and I don't know, this is something that I've learned over time by other people telling me. You walk in a room and people are like, they look at you, they know you're there, and it's not because you're loud.
No.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, when I was younger, I'd always go, what are they looking at? And I had an old timer tell me, son, it's authenticity.
Yeah. I think that you do. And I think it makes it.
And I'm not doing, but
I know,
it
but I
was
think
something I had to figure out.
Well, and let me ask you this: is your heart circle really small? Like your
Fuck.
yeah. So
Nobody.
mine's pretty tight.
I mean, this is like,
mine's pretty tight.
you got to work.
Right. So, and it's funny. Like today, I had a crisis happen, a personal kind of thing happen, and it was funny. I went right, and I'm grateful for. I went right through the list.
I didn't have a long list to call.
Yeah, 2 people, 3 people.
Yeah, I mean,
And I would have been
that's about
satisfied.
it.
I would have been satisfied with whichever one. Always, you have a favorite go-to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have been. And let me rephrase that. Knowing what my situation, clearly out of my group, I knew who I wanted to speak to. Not because.
We know what friends have strengths.
Yes.
We all have strengths.
Yes.
We all have weaknesses.
Yes.
If I want cooking, I go to the one that can cook
I
well.
have one friend that's really
A mixed drink maker, I go to the mixed drink friend.
right.
And that's what.
Yeah.
But it's just characteristics.
But I love
instead of
about my friends that we,
play well off each other.
no, that we're comfortable being, because you have a public and a private self.
Yep.
And I think and girls are hard. I am not a girl's girl.
Yeah.
I don't like girls that much.
Yeah.
They're mean.
Yeah.
We're nasty to each other.
See, I'm the opposite. Guys,
You're not a guy's guy?
Well, Dave, you speak. I don't know. I mean, I hang out with guys. I can hit a golf club and play softball and play bat. I mean, I'm an alpha in a lot of ways, but they don't click with me in a lot of ways.
No, Brett, he gets along with them, but every time, even when we would hang out and stuff, he'd never get close to anybody really.
No, I don't.
No.
Well, because inevitably.
You have childhood trauma.
Yeah.
That's why. You have unresolved childhood trauma.
I know. I'm learning this.
It's true.
I know. Yeah, it's deep.
A lot of men have unresolved childhood trauma.
I know. And it finally came out in panic attacks in my 30s and then went into drinking in my 40s.
Yeah, I know a really good therapist if you need one.
Hell no.
Oh.
I will
You have a
never
whole
sit
thing
down
against
there.
therapy?
Mm-mm.
Or do you feel like you're emotionally healthy?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're okay with that.
Mm-mm. But I've learned to, okay, it's like this. It's like a fiery horse.
Therapy is?
No.
Oh.
No, me and as a child and the things I had to learn. And there's a lot of people that run away from that horse. Mm-hmm. I jumped on it. And this sounds stupid as an analogy. I don't care. It's my life and my damn story. And this is how I saw it. And I jumped on that horse. It was burning my ass. And I learned, there's no reins. It was just a mane. And that's how I'm a visual. Everything, wars are visual,
Sure.
And I finally learned how to give that thing some rope, and that thing can run.
Well,
and what I mean by that is ADD.
it's a coping mechanism.
In a lot of ways.
You're just coping. It's a Band-Aid.
Absolutely.
It's a Band-Aid.
Now let me say this. Am I healthy? Compared to where I was at 44, I am 10 times as healthy.
I mean, we all...
Not just from eating well.
Right.
But...
emotionally healthy.
Yeah, because I got men in my life that would call me on my bullshit. And come to find out, I was buying the bullshit before anybody else.
That's right. That's usually how it works.
Yeah, and so I got the men that I hang out with are 80 years old. One of them came in here the other day, and I was on a live, and I was like, I gotta go. I mean, were you here?
Yeah.
Were you standing there? I mean, did you see my face?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
shocked? No.
I was like, I was like a principal came around the corner. I was like, I'm in because this man, he carries weight in my life.
Right.
And so when he speaks, I listen.
I think all people need that.
Yeah, I didn't have it.
Yeah.
And there were times that I tried to use women for it, and that is a train wreck. Yeah, and
no, he's not wrong.
No, it's. I mean,
and
these
men
are things that
men who. So this is probably like not what we're supposed to be talking about.
it is what we're supposed to be talking
All right,
about.
great.
Stop
so
it.
men who I find this fascinating. Men are supposed to lead.
Yeah,
It's biblical.
it is.
But
really leading isn't,
you can't
follow me.
No, it's not. And you can't do that if you're not emotionally healthy.
Yep.
Because then you always have to be.
Well, the emotional sickness, I know I did just cut you off because my brain's
fine.
running. But
That's
the
okay.
emotional sickness for me is when you know your words don't carry weight,
Well, yeah.
you quit speaking them. And so therapy has to be for those that can't hear. I can hear. I got healthy. I know, like let me put it this way.
Okay.
Whenever I'm disturbed, I
Okay.
don't care if it's somebody cutting me off.
All right.
I don't care if it's a bigger issue. I don't care if it's the court issue I'm going down there for right
Sure,
now,
sure.
which is a frivolous bullcrap.
All right.
It does not emotionally control me today. I have no emotional tie to what just happened today. I get frustrated. I call them bad moments, not bad days. I will allow myself to be emotionally frustrated, and then I hear David Cottingham, you have the right to be as miserable as you like for as long as you like. And I go, okay, I'm going to choose to move on past this, but I still don't know how to get past it. Well, there was another guy, and he says, hey, listen, here's what I do. Put pen to paper. Pen to paper? Guys don't write a journal.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, Brett, I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you believe it. I don't care if you trust it.
Smart.
He said, will you do it?
Did you do it?
Damn right.
And
Changed my life.
exactly.
And I all of a sudden I lost 100 pounds.
Yep.
My business life adjusted.
Yep.
My now chaos still happens. I mean, there's more chaos right now.
Yeah.
But do you write about it?
No, well, not on paper, but how I get out of me is getting into others. I get into other people's issues, and they're speak.
No, go ahead. Finish.
No, speak.
No, finish.
So, by me getting out of my problems, getting in somebody else's, I get out of selfishness. Because my biggest issues are selfishness, self-centered, and I mean, I can't find anybody in this world that I break down the sickest, and that's the base of almost everything
Almost everything.
for me. And I mean, I don't worry about other people. I just focus on me. And am I selfish today? Have I done this? And you know, I review my day at the end of the day. When I get up in the morning, I begin to prepare. There's a mental preparation. I get up at 4:00, so I'll go out there and I'll do these stretches and all this stuff that helps my back. I get in a car wreck and stay stiff, and but it really it becomes a spiritual moment for me.
Sure.
Yeah, because you spoke of the Bible a lot, and I love the Bible.
Me too.
But it also, you know, people always read about pray, but it also says pray and meditate.
Meditate.
And people don't pay attention to the
No,
meditate
we had this
part.
conversation yesterday, as a matter of fact. And it was kind of convicting.
Yeah.
One of our chamber members, we were at a birthday party.
Yeah.
Jason Gill's wife.
Yeah.
Nice. So we're
Love
just,
Jason.
He's the best.
I want him on here.
Oh, Jason.
No,
let's call him.
yes. You know, I can pipe it through
Okay,
on there.
let's call him up.
I don't know if I can do it right now.
Okay, well, let me tell you this. So
Go ahead.
I'll dial him up though while we're doing it.
Because you can hold it up to this. You can hold it up to the mic.
He'll love it. Jason loves to be the center of attention.
Jason, but see, that's the skill set Jason has.
And he's really good at it.
He's really good at it.
Super humble.
He gives a damn about people.
He 100%.
100%. That's why you
I have
love
him
it.
on the speakerphone.
Good. Yeah, we
hear?
can. Yeah, you can hear.
That sounds good.
Can
Oh,
you?
yeah. I've done it before. You don't remember we used to play we used to play the intro.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Jason has a really good
Watch
story.
it. Hang on. I got this one.
Hi, Miss Catherine.
I'm Catherine. Hello, this is Michael. We're over here at Big Buy, and we
Who's
just want
this?
The bullshit
Michael,
meter.
sir.
We can't do it. Jason, so listen, I'm with Brent.
What's it? Brett.
Brett,
But it's
sorry.
okay. What's up, Jason?
I'm sorry. And we were just talking about how much we love you
Yeah, and I said I want Jason on the podcast.
So we're
And
calling
she-
you. We're on the podcast. I just called
so-
Brent.
Oh,
Yeah. So say hi.
I'm cleaning up from family night at my lodge right now.
Oh.
I had supper for family night. So
What
I'm just
did you
cleaning up
make?
from that. I made fried chicken, mashed potatoes, made me casserole, dinner rolls. And stuff.
Bro, okay, listen. When you come on the podcast, we're gonna have
just
an
bring
eating.
that with him.
We're gonna have an eating podcast.
He'll bring you some food.
We will sit here and just eat and talk.
Okay. Well, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, you'll
so
see it on the podcast.
Then I said,
guys.
I'm going to call Jason.
Yeah, your ears must have been burning. We were talking about you. It was good.
Very cool.
Since
so you
when-
guys are at his shop, right?
Yeah.
Since when do you call me Miss Catherine? Though? That's so
And I go around a bunch of people and I'm trying to be respectful.
all right. Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you,
it.
Jason. I love it too.
We'll see you soon, Jason.
Bye, buddy. All right. So
Great guy.
Yeah. So we were talking about going back to what we were talking about
Yeah.
before we called Jason.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love it.
Jason though. He's great. So Jonathan Watts, he said, and Trisha, we were
Right.
sitting at this table and we were kind of away from everyone. We're talking about, do you really know God? right? Have you ever had this conversation with your
With myself.
And we
yeah.
were talking about praying, and and it was really, like oftentimes, I think most people, Dave, chime in here if you feel the need, you know God,
Yep.
but do you know God?
No.
And I was like, yeah. And it was super convicting,
Yeah.
super convicting, I've
Okay.
been thinking about the conversation all day.
And that's meditating.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, I mean, the strive towards the mark of the high calling. I mean, that my job is to be Christ-like the best I can. I don't like the word Christian. I don't use it at all. We bastardized it. I don't like churches. I go to them. I have some churches I enjoy. I got some teachers I enjoy. I don't like preachers. I don't need all that. I have sat in AA and sat where there's no leaders.
Right.
And there's people that stink of alcohol. And I had black eyes for 6 months, looking a year and day in prison. I had they're as black as they would tell you.
It was.
I couldn't get back in my store. God knew if my eyes weren't like, because I hit my head on the steering wheel and it swelled up and then it bled into my underneath.
Yeah.
And so just dried blood.
Yeah,
and so
sure.
it was literally black for 6 months. Otherwise, I'd have been on the retail floor. I'd have gotten an attorney, and I'd have got it down to reckless drive. And I was looking at some time. I had gotten careless in my life,
How long ago was that?
11 years was my last. But it went on for. I traveled for 260 days a year for 25 years. And so I became a lone wolf.
Sure.
And I had no human interaction. I had no female contact,
Sure.
which was, and I'm not talking about sexual.
I know.
It's that touch of the back. It's the whisper.
Yeah.
You women are, y'all smell purty. But God made us to be around y'all.
Sure.
And I was absent from that. And so I would go to sports bars, and if there's a higher power, there's lower powers. And, then there, all of a sudden there's girls around, and there's this around. And you're always running from that. And then now you're arguing at home, and temptation was everywhere. I did not adhere to all that. That wasn't my problem. Women was not ever an issue for me. It wasn't. I'm not interested.
Okay.
It was the experience, and I've dragged Dave all over the Southeast, and he can tell stories of experiences that to me it was just normal. Coming around out of Daytona, hollering, start the truck with bikers chasing me because I jumped on the man's bike with this old lady on it, revving it up, was just fun. And it was stupid, but it was my impulse control was really bad.
I know a guy like you.
Yeah, and then people started talking about ADD, and I started looking into a lot of the characteristics, impulse control, and all this other stuff. And I was like, but I also can get dialed into things, not hyper focused. I can do that.
Yeah, I can do that.
So I have edges of it. I see it, but we want to put somebody in a box so bad.
Yes, we do.
And I'm not ADD.
Right.
Now I have characteristics of,
Sure.
I was sitting with Becky the other day, and you may see it as spinning plates. For me, it's like balls swinging, right?
Yeah.
And I had all these things are going, and I'm fighting the bank here and retail sales, and I had a dealer, and I got another dealer taking me to court. And and all of a sudden, Becky was asking me, I went, because 4 of them were you standing there? 4 of them just hit in my head. And I was like, and I had to reset and get them rocking again. And without whatever they say I have, I wouldn't be able to multitask the way I do.
Sure.
And so
not all labels are bad.
No. Like the word alcoholic for me doesn't stand for what the word, we're so proud of you. It's not the liquid.
Right.
And I don't try to explain it to people outside because
Right.
I can make a really strong case. I'm not an alcoholic.
Nope.
I set it down 3.5 years. There wasn't no shaking. There was nothing. But had it not been that, it could have been drugs. And the drugs
Sure.
was never my. I don't even like drugs. It was never. So, but it would have been fighting. Now fighting, in my day, I enjoyed that.
That
But who are
adrenaline.
you? But who? That's not a normal response to things.
Well, the way I grew up, it was.
See.
Yeah, it was like if you didn't find him on Friday night, you just went out in the back and we sort of went at it a little bit. Not like trying to kill.
I understand what you're saying,
But there was some bloodshed.
Not a normal.
And I wasn't a big guy. So I was like the scrawny one of the
Right.
bunch, and I wanted to prove, and I was that middle kid, and I was always the runt of them. My brother was older and Kevin was older, and
Not an.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, childhood trauma, I don't know if my life is trauma, because I had really good memories, but it was
I think we all have that.
It was a weird upbringing. It was weird. And it didn't make sense to me at a young age. I knew something was off.
Right.
And but I never felt like I fit in anywhere. And so although I would walk in a room, even today, I mean, I can walk in a room and be like, hey, Brad, and I'll say, hey, you know, but, you know, even the chamber, I mean, like I said, over in the back corner, and I'm not really, I mean, I'll say hi to people, and I don't mind having conversations. I mean, but getting deep with somebody and letting them in, but everything I do is in business. So for 30 some odd years, everybody that I know is business sided, and I got knives all in my back. I mean, nothing ends beautifully, rarely. Whether it be, I mean, Would You Distributors was franchisees. They were paying a ton of money back then to be in. And so I didn't go see them when their stores were doing good. I got to go in when they were struggling and their families were on the line and their house was on the line.
Sure.
And then I got to be direct.
Sure, I get it.
And I was 26, 28, and I had a lot to learn. And so by my 30s, I got good at it. And I learned a lot. And that's what this is. It's knowing how to put the right people in.
Sure.
I mean, I held this space I didn't know it was Becky, but I held this space for a year and a half trying to find that right person that fit me and Dave.
That has turned into
Turn this. I mean, and it's
She's
about,
the best. I
she's
know.
not done. I
She's
mean,
not.
no, she could easily take over this place on a timely manner. She could take over this whole store.
But you're not. Y'all aren't gonna do. You don't know yet.
I don't care.
Oh.
I mean, I have Wood Juice room as
Right,
well. I
yeah.
can move all that over there, but
She's so good at this too.
I'm a building owner.
Yeah.
I'm not a furniture store owner. I've been a furniture store owner my whole life. This shifted. Dave will
evolved,
tell.
yeah.
What did I say,
Shifted
Dave?
big time.
I looked at Dave. Dave was confused. I said, Dave, we hold the building.
Yep.
Right.
I was a custodian from Phillips Highway, man. I didn't come from nothing. And I mean, I hustled the SBA to let me even they don't even know how they gave me this loan. They didn't know I was going to open a vintage store. And so
It's worked out well.
Well, I knew by the time they figured it out, I would have money coming in to pay the mortgage.
Right.
And now the value has shot up.
It's worked out well.
Well, no, they want it. They want it. I mean, there's
Who wants it?
the bank.
Oh.
United Community, fuck you.
There it is.
Oh,
That's our weekly shout out.
really?
Out in Ponte Vedra Beach, United Community, come get it, kid.
Oh,
You ain't
well,
gonna get it.
They're not
it's been
chamber
a
members, so it's okay.
I don't care if they were. You can pull my membership.
No,
Nah,
I wouldn't do that. I
no.
wouldn't.
Now you'll meet the other Brett. Now there's all you want to light is
That's the trauma Brett.
okay. You'll know something, and I'm way more comfortable with him. Let me turn him loose.
Yeah.
And not him, but I mean, let me turn him. I always look at the camera.
Oh,
But you get used to it, sort of. I know I see the little dot, and I know people watch. So,
Mm-hmm.
And I have private conversations with people that watch these shows, and there's little things you'll say you
Do
don't
they ever call you, the bank, and say, quit,
like. Call me.
yeah, quit giving us the
I'm not
F
giving
you?
anybody my. There's creepers out there, dude. I'm not giving numbers.
I mean, I would assume the bank.
I have an email.
Oh, does the bank ever email you and
Oh,
say,
the bank.
yeah, the bank.
Oh yeah, no, the bank. I was sitting right there, and we were refinancing during COVID. I played with a 2-7 offsuit against them, and God was good. He was involved in it. There was miracles that happened. I got him to drop a point because
Nice.
I was on a variable rate, which they lied to me about that. Yes, you did. And because I went in at 2-3 prime.
Oh.
A good businessman.
Yeah.
And scrounged everything I could. Only could put down 10% on this building, so you got the SBA babysitting you. 20% gets rid of them. I don't have that kind of money.
Right.
So everything I got is in there. So we refinance. I finally get them to where they're going to give me a point off. We're refinancing. They're rolling my taxes in
Nice.
to the building. Yeah, it was really nice. I called Brian Blasco. Fuck you. I called Brian Blasco, and I told him, I said, hey, I'm fixing to pay off my son's car. He's an older, he's 26, and he's wanted to trade it in. He plays baseball and all that stuff. So I called him, and I said, I'm going to pay it today. All right, man. Absolutely. So it's getting rolled in. Yeah. The next day I was sitting there putting that wall up. I think Dave was sitting there.
I was sitting right here. His phone rang. He's like, give me a minute. This is going to be bad.
And the minute I saw because I've seen them play this game before. They've already drained me of like 50 plus thinking I had to do it.
Right.
And I didn't come to find out. And what they're trying to do is make me liquid poor. I have a ton of equity in my house. But Brian Blasco and United Community won't let me have any to float through anything. So they're wanting me to, so they can get, because I put, 3 new ACs, a roof's coming.
Yeah.
I've done leasehold improvements.
Yeah.
And so they want to come get it. And it's a war. And
Are you going to win?
we're fucking winning. What are you
Good,
talking about?
good.
Oh, they had me on the ropes a couple times because the next day I have to pay my taxes, which if I don't, I violate my contract. If I violate my contract, they can get this and my house and everything else that I
Yeah,
have.
sure.
And, but I knew something they didn't know. So
Nice.
I had Dogecoin. Now it would have been worth a lot more,
Yes.
but I sold it for what, 19 grand and paid off my taxes.
Good job.
And I went,
And that's how God was involved.
yeah. And then now I set off double the size. Oh, God was, let me tell you, every step, every
And
intuitive.
that's so great when you can look back and you know.
I always say I love Jesus and I cuss a little.
I love
You
Jesus
figure it out.
And I cuss a lot.
Yeah, you figure it out. You'll know Matt Blythe. He wrote a book. He used to fly, and I know I talk about him a lot. But for me, these conversations are for the guests.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's not for them. I don't care. Sometimes it's just this. If somebody
Yep.
gets something, they do. If they don't, you just hit stop and go somewhere else. And there's power in that. There's people. We have 110 subscribers now. There are 37 active, and that's go look at the stats for a 8-month-old podcast. We're off the charts.
Good.
And in engagement, and it's because of you guests and everything. So I just got sidetracked where I was
That's
going.
okay.
No, when that happens, I just know it wasn't meant to be
Matt
said.
Blythe.
Yeah, Matt Blythe. But he's the one that taught me that God could handle my anger. Well, when the God I grew up with was lightning bolts, and
Yeah, sure.
you don't dare question. And if you give money, you have to give it lovingly. Well, I don't want to give my damn money. I was a kid,
Right.
And then they introduced me to a loving God. I remember when I went home the first time, and I went to pray, mad, and I was scared to death. And Matt was right. He said, Brett, do you disown your kids if they get mad and yell at you and walk away? He said, you may get upset at them and deal with them.
Sure.
But do you? I said, no, of course not. Well, you get the analogy. And I was like, to me, to you, to Normie, it made sense. To me, it was like, a whole world opened up. Hey, and I remember when I lost everything at 44 due to no fault of my own. And I'm sitting there, and at that time, my mentor said, just get a job. He was an old West Side boy. Just get a job. And I hadn't made nothing, but I was making money, And now I'm over at Nimnik Chevrolet cleaning a car, going, this is not me in a little old shed, going, this is me. I was that poor me, little whiny mentality. And I'd call him. I'd call him, and I'd be so pissed off because they didn't run it like a business. I ran 50 stores,
Right.
Come on. I know how to run a business.
Right.
And I'd never worked for somebody. So I came in with my lunch. I was all excited. And nobody wanted to really run this thing like a business. And so I remember I'd call my mentor. I go, man, I freaking quit. This is stupid. I was making nothing.
Right.
He go, hey, Brett. And it was almost like Rocky. He go, hey, Brett, one more hour. Just give it one more hour. And he's son of a bitch. And I swear to you, it was a red Corvette, and I'll never forget it. And here I am at my lowest financially. I've lost everything, and the world doesn't give a damn. And I did nothing. It wasn't my damn fault. Corporate Wood, you went away. I wasn't considered an honored debtor. I lost everything. And I'm going, and so now I got this job, and I'm newly sober. Ain't nothing working. My life's collapsing, and I'm working for like $30,000 a year. And I'm like, I can't pay 2 kids in college. just on a little.
Right.
And and I started cleaning that rim so hard. I was trying to clean the chrome off of it. I swear to you, and I kid you not, I was 25 minutes on that rim, and I made that thing so shiny. And I jumped on that next rim because it wasn't an hour yet. Because I swore I'd do what he said, and I never saw the hour. The hour was 2 hours, and the 2 was 3. And then I called him again. I quit. This sucks. I'm not. Hey, Brett, just one more hour.
Yeah, I love it.
And Dave and I have a thing. I'm a big Rocky guy, and I've been saying it since I was fighting. I got knocked.
I didn't hear
I
no
got
bell.
Hey, Tommy, I didn't hear no bell. And that's that. I've been knocked down so many times in
Sure.
life, and I know how to get up now.
Yeah.
No, it's not now. The trauma of my childhood allowed me to be able to get up at an early age.
Good.
And I can walk through even my ugliness, the sickness in my head that you want me to go sit with this isn't any more sickness than y'all have. Stop it. I'm just being honest. I put a bullshit meter on y'all. Go, I don't have, they're over there sipping their wines. I don't have any problems.
I think it's interesting how many business owners, entrepreneurs,
Yep.
they all have this same kind of,
You know why?
I'm sure. Yeah, tell me.
because we have I have a low self-esteem, and so I strive. I am relentless
And
to try to achieve the normality that I see in Jason Gill. And Jason has issues and has life, but I don't see that. I see this dynamic, just vibrant guy, and I'm like, I'm not him. He's normal. I want to be him. And
Super interesting.
no, but I became a chameleon.
This is super. I mean,
Okay, so I became a chameleon. John Wayne taught me how to hide. John Wayne taught me how to hide because we finally got a damn TV. John Wayne taught me how to
I hate
hide
John Wayne.
the sensitivity that I had. I was a very sensitive child, and I was very love based. I wanted your love in a sick way, and I chased it for. I chased it for decades.
Interesting.
And it wasn't until my 40s, my late 30s that I could really let it go. And so that was a part of me. And so then I started watching people because I didn't like my family. I love my family,
Right.
but in my sick head, I didn't like the way it was. I didn't like the way my dad dressed. I didn't like the way my mom was. I didn't like the way my brother was the jock and and my sister was the one, and here I am in the middle. And I was just like, where do I fit? And I never could find my place, or I didn't think I had a place. Now
Right.
y'all would see it and go, well, I didn't need, but
I get it.
there was a hole inside my head, and I didn't know y'all. I thought all y'all could see it, and so I'm like covering up like I'm naked, Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
And then I got with a dude that began to show me that we all got holes. I didn't know you had a hole. I thought it was just me, and it's the devil's greatest tool.
And he loves to whisper it.
Whisper.
over
He
and
doesn't
over.
yell.
Yeah.
Listen, anything negative does not come from my Father.
That's right.
And that's how I know who it comes from.
That's right.
So I listen to what comes.
That's right.
And if it's negative, Brett, you're not good enough. You're not worthy. That's not my Father. And so conversation becomes really easy. I can decipher between God and the other when I'm right. But you let me get in the courtroom and get hot-headed, all of a sudden I can't part. And now that whisper starts sounding like God, and off I run. And before you know it, bang, I own Orange Crush, and I'm running with the deepest gangsters in Jacksonville. And that wasn't my intention. I got ahead of God. And I brought Trick Daddy in. I brought Walker Flogger. I brought Great Ape. Go Google these people. I mean, they're like, and then all of a sudden I was good at what I did. They were hustling me.
Yeah, of course.
And there was,
Of course they were.
yeah, the cops were watching them. The cops I paid for were watching them sell the bands on the street. So Trick Daddy ain't got his money. He ain't coming out.
No.
Yeah. And so I went on a Sunday and had to get 6 different ATMs because they don't want to let you max out at a certain amount.
I've had to drive people around to do that. Yeah. I've had
The
to
music.
drive.
And Al Emmerich told me, Brett,
I gotta have an
he-
name in front.
he's my first episode. We've been friends since for 45 years.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, like when he got fired off Rock 105 and
I've
all
had
that.
to drive. Yeah, I've had to drive people. It's crazy. To get 1,500 is what you can max out now.
Yeah.
At the.
Yeah,
So
I
we
know.
have to get it different.
Yeah, I did. And then I pulled out the money. We went to the back, and it was a warehouse. I'm the only white boy back there.
Sure.
And we pull out this money, and the men that are hustling me, and they've got a restaurant today with my money. And yeah, Dave knows where it is. I'm not mentioning it because I'll be around. I ain't done yet, kid. Vengeance is best served cold. So, yeah.
not
Also,
at
my
all.
brain just went somewhere. Hang on a second. So I come around the corner, and the guy's like, when I pulled out the money, because Trick wasn't even looking. His manager, I didn't know who his manager was. He wasn't even looking. I pulled out the money, and he's like, "Oh, you got a lot of money." And I went red, and I came over the table, and Trick's manager was watching, and he liked the way I move, because I'm an idiot. And so then they invite me down to Miami. They want to do some business talking, and they got a boat, they got a yacht party, and they want me to come down. And
you do
this
that?
young lady that I'm with goes, "What a great idea!" And I looked at her and I said, "Are you crazy? There will be hookers and cocaine down there." And you know the door that gets open.
Yeah, I know.
I got close enough in Atlanta, and I'm gonna say less, but them doors were knocking, and there were people breathing, and that 808 and all the nods you got to do to get to the next level is absolutely true. And I ran like hell, and now you know why. That's the first time I've ever said it. I met the devil. He sits in those rooms, and it was eerie. And the men that come around And the women that come around look like her and look like me, but they are walking with different people. And you give nods. It's weird. And it's unspoken.
It is unspoken.
It's weird. But I got it and I got out. So
Have you been following? This is totally like off left field.
Good
Not
jump.
really. Not
Go.
really. Any of this P. Diddy stuff. I'm fascinated by it.
okay, I don't follow it as much because I felt like I walked through
Through
it.
it, sure. That's why I asked
I mean,
the question.
from Miami to, I was,
why I asked the
yeah,
question.
I rented the vans and I checked them. I mean, drugs. It was, these guys were, what are you taking? We're going to different towns.
Sure.
I never rode with them.
Sure.
I was always in a truck behind. That's why I
Sure.
always took my vehicle, Dave, because
Yep.
I never knew what you got, what you ain't got. And I'm not the one getting hooked up, although I'm an idiot. My name's on the van.
So you got the van.
Dave, I wasn't that smart. This wasn't supposed to be a national. This was not intended to live young. I wasn't trying to get nothing. It was what I wanted to do. Is they had camera equipment, and I was friends with a lot of realtors locally, and I wanted to bring with Oakleaf and everything. I wanted to bring an urban music because I'm a sports agent advisor, so I can help local athletes.
Sure.
And when you send off to a college coach, you send video.
You were an agent?
No. Sports agent advisor. Sports management worldwide. It's
Okay.
it's not an agent. I have agent friends that I can call, like John Boggs, Lynn Lashbrook, and everything. They're true agents. I don't make. This is where you just help people. It's really just, Lynn Lashbrook will tell you, don't quit your day job. You don't.
Right, okay.
Now, if Tim Tebow came across and actually was good at the NFL and took off, then I would get a percentage of if they ever brought us along.
You basically recommend people.
I did. Well, I started it
For
because
the agents to scout. You're like the middleman.
I can
before
fill
the
out
agent.
paperwork and
Okay.
get a scout on them.
Okay.
Don't call me with your fam. This is because that's what happens. Oh, my son. And I'm like, but I can here. I'll take,
Okay, here.
yeah, I can get a
Thank
I
you.
can get a scout on, but I got it because of my son. Nobody was looking at him, and so I became a sports agent advisor and started getting scouts looking at him, and he's playing at 27 to
Yeah.
this day. So
Yeah.
not in regular. I mean, a biomedical engineer degree, and he dances and takes his shirt off and throws a baseball.
I love it.
So, oh yeah, so do a lot of
fun,
other drunk
yeah.
women.
Well, I was never drunk. I think it's fun.
It
I will
is fun.
admit, the very first time though that I went to Savannah Bananas game,
Yeah, we're talking about Savannah Bananas, by
Yes.
the way.
I did not. So I thought, because I'm a huge baseball fan.
Right.
I thought, oh well,
You took it as an insult?
yeah. I didn't know.
I
what,
did too.
I didn't know what the hell was going on.
I was pissed.
We talked about it when we first
I was,
started.
I was
I
pissed.
was pissed too.
I was pissed at my
too.
son. I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Just dancing. What?
Half naked.
Yeah.
And it was when the awful, what was that? Oh shoot, who's the guy? He went crazy. He was normal looking, and then he couldn't figure out what I shouldn't say. Oh crap!
Yeah, you can.
Unholy,
It's a
unholy.
podcast.
I know, but who sings that song? Oh crap!
Oh, you mean Weekend?
No, not The Weeknd.
Oh, I don't know.
He's a white guy.
Okay. I don't know music the way y'all do. Dave does.
I do, and I'm thinking I can't.
I don't even know if that's the name of the song.
See, in trivia, I did the Bible. Dave did music
Mm-hmm.
around Fleming Island. We kicked ass for
And
years.
Brett, anything that had to do with Kevin Costner, Brett was all over.
I was all over it, dude. I love Kevin.
Sam Smith.
He went crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's not
Yeah.
normal. He won a Grammy with that girl, Kim Petras.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
she's not really a girl. She was the first. Anyhow, I don't mean just.
You got to finish it. She's the first.
I don't know what the right word is because I can't keep up with all of that.
The transsexual.
Yeah, but she fully transitioned. So
She's transition. So she's just.
I don't. I'm not trying to
Well,
be
y'all figure
ignorant.
it-
I don't know.
No, ignorance is okay. So she's a she now.
I don't keep up with all of that.
He went to a she.
Yeah.
Happy Pride Month.
Yeah. Happy Pride Month.
Have at it.
Live your life.
We had somebody come up from when Becky had that party.
Mm-hmm.
Had somebody come up from Miami that for the witches little
The
thing.
witch just dance.
Yeah, he was 6'3", but man, he had a blast. Dressed like a woman.
Yep.
I was all, he was here.
I love that.
I have a
I
blast.
love when a man is that confident.
I had a blast with him. Man, I got out. No, I mean we weren't like
I know.
bumping up.
You looked good that night. You were like a Boy Scout or something, weren't you? Charlie Brown.
He was
Yeah.
he was the guy from Up.
Okay.
yeah, that's
See, I
right.
didn't know that. I bought it because I wanted to be a Boy Scout.
I thought you were a Boy
Thank
Scout.
you.
Yeah.
And every picture, I never look. I was always a kid. I never looked in the camera. Like anybody want to take a picture of me, I'd always be looking away or making it.
Yeah, I didn't know you were the kid from Up.
He didn't mean to be, but that was the
I
costume.
thought you were a Boy Scout.
I was a boy. See,
We're having a Halloween party this year.
okay, good.
We're
I'm gonna be
doing-
a Boy Scout again.
I'm gonna wear, and I'm gonna bartend. I'm gonna dress like, probably myself. No, I don't know.
No, you're not.
I know. Chad and I've been talking about it.
Okay. I'm gonna be Robin from Batman and Robin.
So we're gonna have we're
Wear
gonna.
that gay little
I
green
bet,
tie.
I bet John, you could probably talk John into.
Being Batman.
Yeah.
And I'll be Robin. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
He's shorter and I'm
yeah,
taller.
I was saying it'd be opposite.
That would be
Well, we're-
awesome.
so-
John, we're doing that. It's
and
done.
I could see John with the mask
so
on.
but
listen-
I'm putting a sock in. I'm just telling
Oh
y'all.
Lord. So, well, you need to do that. So,
She's trying not to get involved in this
I'm
conversation.
trying really hard not
I
to.
fished like 4 times.
No, I'm good at this.
Okay, go
I'm good
ahead.
at this.
I know.
So,
I know.
yeah, no, it's going to be on the 25th of October.
I love
and
it.
it's at Premier Gas and Girls, which is owned by one of our members.
Will
Todd.
there be strippers there?
I can probably arrange that.
Okay.
I mean, I can probably arrange that.
See, she's that girl
Yeah.
that you can't go there with her because there's nowhere to go after that. Because the only thing I can say is going to make me look stupid and get me emails.
No, like
So,
what would you say?
I was trying to do shock value. Oh, well, I was going to say, can we make sure it was ones that I hadn't dated?
Yeah, Jesus.
yeah.
Of course.
Have you dated some strippers?
Yeah.
How many?
Of course. No, not many.
Like
Listen,
2?
She bring a shirt, but be like, really, of all of them.
yeah, that's
That's your
thank you.
luck.
See, they think
That's
I'm trying to
your
be a pro.
luck.
That's my luck. Is it would be the one girl
Yeah.
out of all of Jacksonville or all of Florida or whatever.
Did you date a Jacksonville stripper?
No, it was a Studs Pub.
There's no such thing as a good-looking
Studs?
Jacksonville stripper. There's not. I'm sorry. Did you marry one?
No.
Okay, good. But there's,
Although I do have a friend that did.
Ooh,
Hush.
sorry. There's
but
no such thing as a good.
no, I mean I say friend. They didn't last, but great son. Something good came out of it. But no, I back in the we always talk about this, but strip clubs, like when I was doing the gangster stuff, I had to go get artists.
Yeah.
So I would have to go into these girly bars.
Yeah.
I have videos of all these big
Girl-
booties like coming
Girl,
towards me.
So I worked with a guy.
It was hilarious.
He's Armenian.
Yeah. Or Russian, one of the two.
Well, I mean the same, really, isn't
Yeah.
it?
They-
So, it is the same, right?
Oh no, I already
No, it's not. I think Armenians are way more violent than Russians. I legit
okay.
think that.
Okay, so now this is where I will start slowing down the conversation because I'll put it this way: I was at a club getting a artist because they thought I was the rich white guy and I was not. It was a hustle,
Yeah, yeah.
and the black guys were called over to a table, and they thought they were bringing me over to introduce me.
Oh.
And I'm looking and they're looking and they ain't saying nothing, I ain't saying nothing and Pac thinks he's introducing me. Like, dude, you have no idea the world you just in Jackson and yeah.
Well,
Good
so
people.
He was not a morning person.
No.
And so, but he was real big on, I guess it's a cultural thing if you're Armenian or Russian.
Well, it's a
No, wait,
cultural
but
business thing.
He would FaceTime me.
Yeah.
He'd want to talk,
Yeah.
but he'd FaceTime me in his bed.
Yeah.
And sometimes,
About 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
yes, always.
Yep.
And
How do I know that time?
and
Because
there
that's when
would
they get up.
always be multiple women in the bed.
Yes.
It's just like,
And did he have the wife beater on?
no. He just,
Okay. He's just in his birthday suit.
yes.
And yeah, that was not my life. And I didn't know them in that way.
And so then he bought a club around the corner that we used to all go
Which,
to.
by the way,
Yeah.
let's stop for a second because you did step your toe into that water. When somebody goes in that water, I'm allowed to ask questions.
Okay.
And this is not personal, but more than one girl, what the hell? How does he?
And they were young.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. I mean, how do you get? How can you? I can't. It's a
I don't
waste
know,
of
but
time
when
and
I-
energy.
So funny. That's so funny. That's been the
Do you,
theme.
does that not cross your head?
No, but
ever?
it's been the theme of the. This is really weird. So
Speak.
when I came in, this has been the theme of the day. Like we've been having this conversation.
About
Yeah.
about multiples.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm that's
you
go
want to
ahead.
have this conversation?
Oh no, I'm all for it.
I mean,
I have
don't-
my own way. Like
I
I
don't
would
have
never.
much to offer to it, but I have this theory.
I love your theories. Go.
My theory is if you are really talking about that, you haven't really done it. Because this guy,
That is very true because I have a
This
friend that
guy-
does it.
yeah, does your friend that does it,
I'll tell you a story. I
does
got
he
on
talk about it?
No, I got on Kick. Hang on, people. Just
You should. You shouldn't have that app.
I don't.
Okay.
We're talking about when my kid, my daughter's 20. She was 8 or 9
Mm-hmm.
whenever it first came out. So I was dealing with hang on a second. Let me finish it. Do you see this?
She's
I-
judging you
okay.
right now.
You'll know why? Because she knows what it was. I didn't. I'm an old guy that downloaded the app because a guy in Puerto Rico that we were doing the water,
Yep.
Peter Stimber. I'm throwing everybody out. Peter Stimber. had-
You're busted. No, I'm
he's
just
in
kidding.
Puerto Rico, dude. He's a crook. So I got my money. I smelled him. I got out. The other guys didn't. They all got hit. I said, y'all boys. I sent them down there on a plane. This ain't good. And they all kept throwing money, and I got out. So, but Peter had me download the app. So I'm sitting there one day. You keep looking at me like that. No one has contacted. I never use the app until I go to talk to Peter. And so I go to talk to Peter, and my daughter's walking by. She goes, "Oh, what? You got your new app?" And it was being funny. And I was like, yeah, it's this Kick app. And she stopped, just like you did. What are you doing on Kick? What are you doing on Kick? Well, then I found out what it was. So I'm going to get rid of this app, right?
Yeah.
So a day or two later, I didn't like go delete it right then.
Right.
But a day, I knew not to use it, whatever. And we got on WhatsApp or whatever. Is WhatsApp okay?
Yeah, WhatsApp's
I mean, how do you know Kick, WhatsApp? Who the hell knows? Well, my buddy did. So I'm sitting there I'm sitting there. I was trying to screenshot all the because I'm getting rid of this app. So Peter and next thing I know is, what are you doing here? And that's the first question. I was like, and I look like I am like I'm worldly and I'm real seasoned. I'm oblivious. I'm like a blonde. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm screenshotting some things. We talked for like a half a second. He was gone, and I'm like, okay. Well, years later, I found out, that he was a swinger. And so that's the big
But
story.
I mean, that's really, yeah. So
Are you still looking at me bad after that story?
No, but
Okay, thank you.
So the gal I was talking.
Dave, I was digging Peter Stimber. I'm like, John Cantrell, Jason. I'm tossing everybody.
So no, that's been the theme today, and I've come to the conclusion we have a mutual friend apparently, and he actually married a girl, and then would tell like when they would go to game night or something at other couples' homes.
Yeah.
I would be mortified.
Well, Fleming Island's got a huge.
Oh yeah, I know all about it.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert or anything, but
I mean,
yeah.
well, it's
yeah, which is so bizarre.
Well, they got the villages. We talk about this all the time.
Oh,
The
yeah.
villages, they do the loofahs. They hang them from their.
Yeah,
What Florida? I mean,
Florida man.
anything past Orlando, don't go. It's not worth it.
Anything
man.
south.
Well, Tampa. I guess I'd kick in Tampa, and you just sort of draw that
Anything
in.
So-
south of I-4.
But,
Yes.
So she was saying it would
Yes.
embarrass her. Now they're married and they would go, they'd be at game night or whatever. And he would tell the great story about, how the best sex he ever had was this,
Other girl.
threesome. Yeah, threesome.
And she's just sitting there.
Yeah, which, I mean, number one, this is crazy. This is your husband. And now he's telling the story. I'd make him sleep on the sofa probably a lot.
Okay, so if
So
I
time out.
Okay.
So I said to her, I listened to her. Then one day she's like, I got this great idea because I don't want to hear this for the entire rest of my life. I go and get some of my friends. We're just going to give him the night of his life. That
Right.
seems like a very good solution, right? No, he's totally not into it. Doesn't all of this. And I said, it's because he never really did it in the first place. I
Yep.
think men talk about that all the time and never do it.
never.
And good. Keep talking about it.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't
with
know
that.
that, but
I've never done it. It would scare me. Y'all scare me. I mean, I just can't. I couldn't. Can't remember. Two strong women, and then where do I fit in? I'd be like, all of a sudden, yeah.
you'd have to get zebra gum. That's
Yes.
what about
that-
zebra gum.
No.
We told you about it the other day.
Oh.
So it's like you remember zebra gum, don't you?
Yeah.
God, I think zebra gum should come back.
Well, it's
You
still
can't buy
here.
it now. You need to
You
order.
sure?
I'm positive, 100%.
Because I'm about to open if I don't get the pianos in here, I'm going to open a
What is it?
nostalgic candy.
Don't you remember
The
zebra
striped
gum?
gum-
So
The
if you-
fruit stripe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you remember? It had great marketing. They put it on during the cartoons
Yeah,
on
and
Saturday
the
morning.
flavor lasted for 5
That's
seconds.
exactly what she
Zebra
said.
gum.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said.
So I've labored all girls. I didn't. Trisha actually came up with it, but it's genius. And it's horrible now, Yeah.
So for me,
You have zebra gum and then like gum. Like what's a good
That's
gum
what-
that doesn't last?
yeah, and so what we're doing is we're insinuating, okay, the man and the female.
Yeah.
I would agree with that 100%. But that flavor can come back. I'm just saying. Okay.
If you get a new piece.
She has been talking about it all day. All right. So for me, if I was with a woman and there was a dude, and there would be a different sound that she never made, and I'd spend the rest of my life trying to get her to make
Exactly.
that sound, and she never would. We talked about this because we had a swinger on.
Yeah.
So the part 1 is up now, and then I'll probably put part 2, or maybe
Is
put
she
her
a
on.
Fleming Island swinger?
No, she
Local?
lives on the south side, and if I told
She
you,
came from California not
she
too
does
long
finishing
ago.
in my furniture store.
Okay.
I knew nothing about that she was a swinger. She has 4 kids.
We asked her, she did around here. She's like, no, we haven't met anybody yet.
Yeah, and she's not like looking, and her husband likes old.
I mean, I'm just curious.
but she's
as
a lesbian.
As a person who's never been married, ever, what would be the benefit?
Of being married?
No, being a swinger. I mean, or being in
I
an
think-
open relationship. I mean, I've heard it labeled all kinds of things. What would be the? Because I'll be honest,
Sexual gratification.
This
I don't
is
know.
the shit that terrifies me about like. I mean, I don't have a kitchen backsplash because I can't commit, but that's. But seriously, I mean, I have all the tiles, like a bunch. I could make a mosaic and it'd be
You're
pretty.
serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. So, what would be no? I mean, a serious question. What in Sam hell is people thinking?
It keeps, in my opinion,
Spice?
it keeps people from
Buy a
cheating.
wig. Get some lingerie, people.
Go pick her up at a bar.
Yeah, date your wife.
Oh, I like that.
Huh?
I like that. Picking them up at the bar. Picking
Yeah,
somebody. Your
literally, it
significant
keeps you
other.
from cheating on your husband or wife. Because
No,
you're there.
you're 100% cheating on your husband or wife.
Not if they're there.
That's how you're rationalizing it.
No, that's how they're right. He's not doing
No.
it.
Is that what she said to you?
No,
Yeah,
I've
I'm
heard
sorry,
that from
Dave.
other people.
Dave, she's got you swinging
Oh,
now.
yeah. Right, yeah.
And
Dave's like,
starring,
"Fine, I'll
and
swing."
starring-
Whatever.
And starring on OnlyFans with the war flag.
You will be swinging on OnlyFans.
I think you
Hey,
should
I ain't
call
been
it
married either, so.
That exactly,
Captain Flap.
Yeah.
But
dude. I get.
no, I'm being serious. So you've been told it's not cheating if the other person's there. I mean,
No, I've never talked like
WTF.
the man that I know that's a friend of mine that's a swinger. We don't talk about it much. I mean, I don't. It's
I
just
wouldn't
not.
talk about it either.
Yeah, I mean, I came and sat one time with his girlfriend, and she's
He's not even married. How can you be a swinger if you're not married?
she's much younger. I mean, she's like 25 years younger.
How old is he?
He's my age.
How old are you?
54. So she's like 26 now. But when he got with her, she was a little younger. I don't know her, but I went up to his house, and I came around the
I
corner.
mean, does he financially provide for her?
She works. No, she's in the medical field, and she does well.
Okay.
So no, she's a boss and has
So
a.
is it? So I wonder if it's like.
Oh, I'd love to get him on here. He would never. He'll never watch this. But he doesn't have social media. He doesn't talk. He's. Yeah. But if you met him, well, one, you'd be like, oh my God,
Probably not.
You wouldn't know he's a swinger.
I probably would. I think you can look at those people and tell there's something not right.
Not John. No. No way. He was a firefighter.
Well, that explains all of it.
Yeah.
It's right there. No
Yeah,
offense.
he
Please,
was-
if my house catches on fire, come put it out.
Now, hang on. Fowler's not a swinger. He's
No.
married. I love. No. Yeah. Clay don't make enough to be swingers. They go to Jacksonville. Sorry, guys. I love Engine 17. They when I was on Fleming Island, Fowler, who used to be a bartender, now is a Clay County firefighter.
That's
not
a great.
the fire.
That is a great combination.
I know.
That
It
is a
really
great
is. That's not the
combination.
firefighter I was talking about. That was a swinger, by the way. This was at a whole nother state. So I just want to make sure. Mike doesn't get
Mike's
paid.
like, come on, Brett.
All of a sudden, his wife's leaving him because he's married and has kids. But I do want him on here because he has mixed family, and that's tough. And he's made it work and everything. But
A blended family.
yeah, what'd I say? Mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, blended.
Blended.
All these words. We have
I
to
know.
be so
I know.
correct.
I hate it.
I don't do it.
I hate it.
You're gay. And I mean, then what do they call it? Check me off or cross me out. And when
Cancel me.
Cancel me.
Cancel me.
Oh, I think all my.
I want to get canceled so bad.
I go to TikTok jail all the time.
It's so stupid.
You
so
know how I
stupid. I know we're not supposed to talk about
Yes, you are.
politics. But
You can talk about anything you
stupid.
want.
The
Okay,
Republicans, I think that the far right Republicans
Mm-hmm.
who love to, they're so much crazier than the far left Democrats.
you think so?
Oh my God, 100%.
I could do. I mean, y'all wore.
I 100%.
Now I'm not a far
I
righter.
100.
Hang on a
Neither am
second.
I.
But they wore vaginas on their head and marched
did?
in Washington. The far left.
That's every man's dream. I'm sorry.
That was not
dream.
those women, not those non-wake up wearing,
every
ponytailed, short haired, eating their little ding dongs, talking about how they man hate, and they're screaming, ah! And they're just like,
No, I think
it
the
was
far.
scary.
But the thing about it is, they do it right out in the public.
How about this?
Like that guy, they just. Let's talk about the election in New York City, mayor election. All right. I feel like that's a safe topic because nobody in Clay County voted for the mayor in New York City.
Right.
All right. So the guy is a declared. I mean, I'm not labeling him.
Right.
He's labeled. He self-identifies.
Right.
I'm up on this
Right.
political labeling bullshit.
Right.
He self-identifies as an Islamic socialist. Hello. I mean,
Omar's out
on
in-
September 12th.
Yep.
Had you asked the people in New York City,
Yep.
Towers have fallen,
Yep.
all the things.
My dad was there.
Okay, so had tons of
Yep.
y'all are going to put as your Democratic frontrunner an Islamic socialist.
But Michigan is full of it. I mean, you go out to Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, they have
Jacksonville has the fifth largest Syrian population.
No one's paying attention to the. On college right here.
Well, it says peace.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, there's not.
I mean, this conversation could go wackadoodle quick.
It doesn't go.
So-
Let me say no, but
Steve's
let
like-
me say this.
But I mean, no, seriously, I think the far right was what we initially started talking about. They're crazier than the far left. And
What do you think, Dave? I think both sides. I think what we're talking about. Let me ask you this:
okay,
when we're talking about fringe, not the norm. Like you're obviously left, and I would probably be
wait, what?
obviously left. No, the way you were talking about the right was very
No,
okay. I read into that too much.
yeah, way
Okay.
too much.
All
I've
right.
never voted Democrat in my life.
Okay, see that's what's stupid about assuming. So I don't do it often. I did it right there.
I probably though would say I think we need a third party now.
Well,
I don't identify. I have a hard time with the Republican
Oh,
Party
I don't
right now.
identify as them. I only do it so I can
And
vote.
I think the Democrats are just and here you have to.
And then
close primary.
Perot. Well, we tried Perot. I voted Perot.
Well, and,
And boy, that was a mess. I look like an idiot.
do you love our governor?
Well, I'm in the roofing business, so no.
Yeah, right.
I think he's going to be running for president. I like a lot about him.
Like what? Tell me something good.
I like the way he plays the political game. And to be honest with you,
Yeah,
and
it is a game.
Tell me if I'm wrong about
All right,
this.
all right.
In today's politics, because
Yeah.
this is not. We can talk about anything. I love talking
No,
about
I'm
politics.
really not supposed
Okay.
to be talking about politics.
Oh, gotcha.
It makes John so nervous.
Okay, but we're not going there.
Okay.
It's not. But in today's politics, you don't have to have as much depth as you did even in.
I know it's so true.
So you
don't even have to be smart. You just have to be able
look
to
at
raise
Kamala.
money.
Yes,
That's it.
he can.
Yep.
He
20. What
okay.
did she raise? 20.
Yes.
No, her
Yeah.
campaign. She raised over $1 billion.
Yep.
And her campaign is still $20 million.
Yep.
How?
And Bernie, I mean, he made out like a bandit, man. This socialist, he's a multi-millionaire off of that monies. But I don't think they have to have much depth. I think they have to be able to hold back their side like the money that they're getting. They owe. There's strings attached.
So when
and I think he can do that.
I think that when we have upcoming local elections, you should consider having some one-on-one
I would love it.
with the candidates.
I would love it.
That'd be cool.
You set it up. I'll do it. It'll get a lot more.
Oh, some of these people hate my guts.
Well, I'll call
but,
them.
Yeah, you call them. So no. On a serious note, I think that
I
would
would
be
love
good.
that because I get to ask the real questions, and it wouldn't be quite as goofy.
And I think it would have to be totally scripted.
Oh, it would. No, they'd get the questions beforehand. They're not sitting down without the questions beforehand and all.
They should have to.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
That would be fun. Never know.
Maybe you and John can moderate that together.
That'd be fun. We could do a round table. Hell, we could do it. We could do of course, me and
Another guy you should have on is Mike Belcher that owns Mike Belcher Roofing. He's an interesting guy to talk to.
I know him
His
somewhat.
brain, you said the roofing, that's what made it.
Yeah.
That's where my brain went.
Yeah.
His brain, he's a smart guy.
Yeah, Keiko wouldn't want to sit down with me. I took too much of his business.
Do you really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I only did insurance claims, so they didn't consider me a real roofer, and I wasn't.
Right.
I didn't swing a hammer.
Right.
I got turned down on an insurance claim, and I beat my insurance, and then I had a friend ask me to help, and I beat his. And back then, you didn't need until DeSantis bowed to the insurance companies. You didn't need to have an attorney involved. Now,
DeSantis.
Yeah, I'm not as crazy
Someone
about it.
told me he was the greatest governor ever.
What?
Yeah, I just looked the other day.
What about Jeb? What did you think about Jeb?
A long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
I wasn't. I mean, they did. I was the white haired dude, and he slipped my mind.
Charlie Chris?
Yeah, that's one you like.
No, I don't like him.
Who's your favorite? Who was your favorite?
I don't really know. I've never
Okay,
really.
now
thought
John's
about it.
sweating. Now John's sweating.
Ron, big Ron.
Ah.
Ron's my favorite. I'll just
Okay.
say that, and that'll make John happy. Ron
Okay.
DeSantis. Everyone who knows me knows I'm totally lying right now. I started out. I loved Ron at the get go.
What do you hate about him? I mean, not
I don't hate him.
but
I just am disappointed.
okay. But I'm disappointed in all of them. Trump, I'm disappointed in him.
Well, Trump isn't really a Republican.
No, he's not.
I know.
Thank you. All these Republicans are following. All these Christians love him, and this guy, the things he's done and said.
I had someone say the stupidest thing to me. Yes, I used the word stupid.
Good.
Because it was stupid. I didn't even respond. They said, well, he's a baby Christian. I'm like,
No, he's not.
What does that mean?
No, I mean, I'm not here to. I will tell you, I'm not going to judge that man on his faith.
I'm not judging him at all,
But that man has walked in,
and I have a real problem with people calling the president daddy.
who calls him daddy? Okay, see, I don't follow politics
I
as
don't
much
see it
anymore
that
right
much
now
either.
Well, the other day, so
because I'm about done with it.
well,
I just can't
you
take
can buy
anymore.
a shirt that says "Daddy's Home."
That's all the baby boomers.
I just feel like I just think you
Okay.
should cue the porn music, and
Yeah.
then no, I'm seriously, like 70s porn music, because what woman is gonna call? I'm sorry.
I think that's why I never got into porn. And I mean, not.
I mean, I don't. That's a whole.
No, hang
other-
on. No, stop. We're not stopping there. I think that's why I never got into porn, like watching it, because it was the
not making it, watching it.
Yeah, because it was
music.
no, it was the 70s, and everything grew.
I don't know. So, but I mean, really, it's like I have nothing for that.
Yes, yes.
You called her
I have
speechless.
been trying for 2 damn hours to
have
stop her.
I have
Okay,
nothing.
I will stop now. I have tried vagina. This is purposeful. Every bit of it was to try to get her to. She wasn't going to blush, but just the 2 balls. I have not, and I got it. So now I'll shut up.
70s porn. Who knew?
No, it was everything grew. That it is like there was nothing after
And
that.
floated. It all grew and floated.
Yes.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So where the hell were we, Dave?
We were talking about Ron DeSantis. People, or no,
God, we were
Talking about
offering-
governors.
Trump. We were talking about Trump and people calling
Okay,
Trump
Daddy.
Daddy.
Got it.
Daddy's
I'm back.
home.
That's weird.
It's so weird.
Okay, the one thing about Trump that I think is weird is I just believe it's the last stint of the baby boomers in total control before they go all into the old folks' homes.
Into
Get mad
cocoon.
if you want. They have not. Get a Gen Xer in there. It's time.
Yep.
Get out of the way,
we
babies.
100% need term limits. Those people need term limits.
Get rid of
think-
lobbyists.
Term limits. There's got to be a maximum age.
Well,
as
I
well.
also
Get rid of lobbyists.
But of course, now you're being ageist.
Yes, I am.
I know, and I have no problem with it.
Because Biden lost his brain while he was in the
he was
presidency.
completely normal while he was there. What are you fucking talking about? So, I mean, come on.
True. What am I thinking?
What were you thinking? God, stop watching Fox News.
Never.
No, really, listen. And they need term limits, and
Yeah.
they need to not make a gigantic salary.
Yeah.
And I think if it's good enough for sailors to live in barracks and eat at a mess hall, well, guess what? Elected officials should have to do that as
You
well.
cannot be a politician and be honest. It's
Oh,
impo-
I don't think that.
You don't. You
I-
think? Hang on. You think you can walk through Tallahassee and not give on your morals to get what you need? You got to give.
Yeah, I think there's honest politicians.
I think they are honest when they get there.
Nope.
I think to get.
I understand the question. I
Yeah.
think that they're honest politicians.
Please get one in this chair. So to change
Okay.
my, and I wouldn't be looking for ugly. I just want to see somebody, because I sat with Jim Fuller down at First Baptist downtown. They used to bring all them people down. They'd stand. I hated it.
Yeah, sure.
They'd stand them up during They were never down. Now Jim was a member.
Yeah.
He came into college and career, and I was at.
Yeah.
I lived on Phillips Highway.
Yeah.
So I was at the bars Saturday, but I
And church
really
on
was.
Sunday,
I
yeah.
really was searching, and I would sit up in the top. Well, Jim comes into college and career and asks for our vote, and I hated it. I was into politics at a young age. I hated it, and then when he got busted for all that he did, he never came back and apologized.
Sure.
If you're gonna take my
Sure,
vote,
sure.
and that's why I hate. So
Sure.
Jim was a good man by all
Sure.
accounts.
Sure.
But he wasn't. Now,
Sure.
if I got into politics, my God,
But I
they'd
mean, was he
shred
a
me.
bad person? He
I
got
do not
caught.
know.
He got caught.
I will never judge a man because my past. And
I think they all have a little bit of an ego. You totally have to do that, I think, to run a campaign.
there was one guy at First Baptist downtown that had a suit place off of Normandy or something, and he ran, and he was very old school, and he went into politics. And that, so now that I think about it,
I don't know who you're talking about.
yeah, he was nothing big, but he made it tally. But I mean, politics to me, I wouldn't be good at it. I just speak to,
I think we need business people to hold more offices too.
yeah.
People who've actually
Yep.
had to balance a budget,
Yep.
understand what that means.
We had a good crew going, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of them left, and they're now with Fox News, or they're with Trump's administration, and all I want people just to leave me alone.
Yes.
I would love to have,
Yes.
since we are talking a little politics, I would love to have the fair tax,
Yes.
and then or have a consumption tax. If you buy a Porsche, you can afford it, so you pay more, and that way you can. Well, hang on, if they want, you're going to have to give them something, and if they want to hit the rich. That way, if you have the money to buy it, you're paying it. But they're not hitting me because I can't afford to buy a Porsche, so I'm not getting hit with the taxes the way they are. I like it. If you look into
Do
it,
you like it, Dave?
I don't follow it much.
no. So like the consumption tax would be the high luxury tax. So the more, like if you buy
Right.
a $10 million yacht, you got more
You pay
money.
more.
It's,
Yeah.
Well, I don't
You're
like.
paying more tax overall,
Oh well, I
or
know
just
for a fact.
on the goods. that
Just
you
on the
purchase?
goods. See, I would give the goods because they're already paying less taxes than me.
No, that's right.
And I mean, because they do a trust and
Sure.
they're really good at what they do.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm trying to get in line with them, but you got to have some money for that.
Yeah,
And
right.
the last 4 years, it's been a little bit. I'm a little out. I almost said it, but it's not there. Okay, women in business,
Okay.
and I want to finish with this.
Yeah.
I got to have you back.
Okay.
So we'll in the next couple of weeks, Dave. I want to do a part 2.
Okay.
And then let's get some girls to come with me.
Okay, you pick them.
All right, I'll do it.
So let's get 2 more.
Okay.
So there'll be 3. We'll set it up here.
All right.
We'll have the 3 chairs here. I'll sit
I
over
love
here.
it.
And y'all have to wear high heels.
Okay.
And no, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
look what she's got me wearing, Dave.
All right.
I
I
know,
have pulled-
but it's
I have pulled up-
it's your OnlyFans audition. Love it. Bow, chicken, bow, bow.
Listen,
Trying to make
when a
sense.
woman smiles in any way about any part of the body, I mean, you take
Makes you feel good.
Thank you. That's
Yep.
we're guys. Light switch on off. It's very simple. On off.
Zebra gum.
Women, computers.
Zebra gum. Zebra gum.
Yes, zebra gum.
Repeat after me. Zebra
I'm not. No,
gum.
no. I am not going to man hate on zebra gum
I
because
am.
my zebra gum lasts a long time. Anyways,
Then it's not zebra gum.
well, you just chew slower.
It still loses the flavor, babe.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
but you know what?
It doesn't
I
matter.
got mine.
All right, women in business.
Women in business.
Don't chew zebra gum.
Don't chew zebra gum. But
I mean, they might. I don't know. Probably not.
how do you know when that dude just doesn't respect you as much as he does another dude? Can you see it, or is it in the words? Is it in the actions? I've been wanting to ask a woman. I never have. She's the right one.
So I don't understand the question.
Well, they don't expect. They don't. They don't.
Because I'm a
respect-
girl, they don't think I have the skill set.
Or do you come in and it's just pretty obvious?
Well, I want to say this from the start. I don't want to be equal to a man.
yeah.
I don't. I mean, I'm not.
Well,
Oh, and what I mean by that, before anybody flips the F out,
Yeah.
because
I know exactly what you say. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want.
There's a reason we're different.
Yeah, we were created that way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna follow a man
Yep.
because he's a man.
Yep. You earn it.
I don't even know if that's. I think a lot is put on that, but yes.
And what I mean by earn it is you earn
and
it through
so
your
I
life.
would have. Let me put it in real life
Yeah.
experience. I would have if John Cantrell said to me, Catherine, we are going to get into a helicopter and we are going to cannonball into the St. Johns River. I might not understand why we are going to do this, but I trust that John, whatever the reason,
Safety and everything.
yeah, all the things.
Right.
If my old boss, the one who was probably the worst boss, and again learned a great skill set.
Absolutely.
He said that, I'd be like, oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. So
how quickly did John get there where you would do that?
well, John and I have known each other a long time.
Before working
Yeah, I mean,
together? Okay.
yeah. So we've known each other a long time.
So that doesn't help me then. I don't get that.
But no, I mean, I guess.
Because there's not a definite time, and I know that everybody's a little different, but I just wonder how long
Well, I
it
wouldn't
takes.
have come back to work I mean, but how quickly do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you instantly know.
Yeah.
I instantly
And
know
that's my
when
question.
somebody is, I instantly know when this person, when I'm sitting down at this table with, and often I have been the only girl,
Yeah.
the only female, whatever word we're, you instantly know. I instantly can read the audience.
Yeah. Do you deal with it or you just let it go?
It depends.
I agree.
It depends.
Yeah.
Does it bother me?
Yeah.
That too depends.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Do you feel good self-worth?
Yes. Value. I think a lot of women don't.
I know. Where'd you get that? I see it in you. That's why I asked. Was it family? Was
yes,
it
of
you're
course.
worthy, you're beautiful? I mean, all the things to build you.
No, I mean,
and the challenges they set in front of you.
I love it still to this day when my dad will call and say, I'm so proud. I don't understand what you do, but I'm proud of you.
Okay, that's my point. So
Yeah.
he does.
So, yeah,
He's
I mean,
instilling
I get
it.
Yeah.
Like my daughter always tell her, I said,
And I think dads are so important.
so important.
So important.
And
my dad wasn't a great dad when we were, I mean, he really wasn't.
Yeah.
He was busy.
That was me.
I mean, he was mean.
That was I wasn't mean, but I was direct.
My dad was verbally abusive to my mom. I mean, my dad is alive, so he would roll over if he
Right.
be pissed, call me up. What are you
Right.
talking about? I won't show him. He likes
Yeah.
YouTube though. But I can remember my mom when my parents, our house was on our neighborhood. Anyhow, my mom would go out and she would stand in the front yard when he would really be pissed, or she'd pull a lawn chair
Right.
off the cardboard, pull a lawn chair, and she'd sit because he's not going to yell and scream at her in the front yard. And she would go, this is even more scandalous. She would go and sit, like if she had her nightgown on,
Right.
she'd put her robe on. If he was cranky in the morning on a Saturday morning, she'd go and sit right in that lawn chair, so, and that would piss him off more. He'd be pacing back and bitching and screaming about that.
But she was willing to stand her ground.
Yeah, I mean, and she did it in a subtle
Yep.
kind of.
Are you as subtle though?
No, I'm
you
more,
added a little bit more.
I'm more like my dad.
Yeah.
I'm my dad's child.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that.
Yeah.
With pride.
So is mine.
My dad's
daughter.
child. He'll say that. My brother's more like my mom,
Yeah.
which is great.
But I always told my daughter, I said, listen, you can't have somebody, you'll never have somebody that'll be in love with you. I don't just love you, I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
I never talked about her beauty,
Yeah.
although she's a beautiful young lady.
Yeah.
But it was always about the internal and your character and your
And
moral.
I'm a hard on boys. I mean,
Yeah.
my dad, my
Good.
dad will say that.
Well, people always tell me with my daughter, because she's pretty, and they're like, boy, you got your hands full. I go, no, I don't.
I
The
don't.
guy
Yeah.
that tries to get her has their hands full.
Right. And now my dad says, I think you're at a better, well, now it's a different conversation because he's like, I'm 80, I'm going to die. I don't want to die. I know that you're not. I know, it's sweet. He's not dying anytime soon.
Yeah.
But
Do you feel yourself rushing a little bit?
no.
Good.
No.
Easy does it.
No.
But do you feel yourself pushing away harder?
No.
Or you're accepting if it comes and okay if it
Yeah.
doesn't?
Because the thing is, I make my own money.
Yeah.
I'm choosing you,
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. But you still want to be safe and secure. I mean, you're a boss, but
Yes.
the female, like we are different. And, you know,
Yeah.
the head on the
I
shoulder.
want someone that is, you make out with like a boy, but you talk to like your best girlfriend.
But I mean,
But that can also reel your shit in when it needs.
right. You're a
that.
boss here, and you want to be able to go home and,
Not have to do shit.
take that jacket off and
Right.
be vulnerable and know you're not going to get
Yes.
smacked around.
Yeah.
I know. That would be nice.
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen often.
No, never.
I know. So where do you draw your energy,
I don't know.
Dave? Where do you draw? I mean, no, because you bounce like me, and it's not just caffeine.
No, I don't know.
You
This
have
is
no-
normal.
Okay, but
But we're being normal. This is how we're made.
I agree. But you were like this as a child too.
Probably. I don't really
You don't remember your childhood much.
know much.
Me neither. Do you remember? Okay, this is where I start asking questions for reasons for me.
Okay.
Do you remember 2-3 years ago? I mean, obviously we remember fun things with John riding a helicopter or something, but I mean, like,
Yes.
yeah, see,
Yeah.
I don't. I have a real short-term memory, purposeful, and meaning I know I'm doing it, but I don't. It's not always good.
Yeah.
And I think it did come from youth, and mine wasn't sexual or anything. Mine was more that verbal. And the God
I
and
think
the,
words are hard.
I mean, it was stuff like, I mean, my mom met me on Phillips Highway. There's 6 of us living in a single wide at Phillips Highway, Suntree Mobile Homes. My trailer is still there.
That's wild.
30 years later, there were
That's
6 of us.
wild.
Bart had a automatic BB gun. I mean, we would just clear the house. We had 60 people in there, and it would be rocking. I don't know how that thing still. We knocked walls over, and that thing is still there. I'm amazed. So, anyways, my mom came up to the door on a Friday night, and I mean, they'd put me out of the house. I mean, we agreed, that I wasn't going to live by their rules. It was
Right.
time to move out. So I'm 17, moved in with my brother and them on Phillips Highway, and I'd been there a while. Found out you can party a lot. So I was partying a lot. I was getting that out of my system. So Friday night, my mom's sitting there with my sister holding her hand she was maybe 7 years old, talking about how I was going to send her to hell. That kind of, and I'm sitting there. Now, by that time, I'd already broken out of the window and I knew what the world was. And I'm sitting there with her. I'm like, Mom, come on now. We're having a beer. It's okay. Today, she has developed. It's been really neat to watch our growth together.
You and your mom's.
Yeah, because she's come out. She's actually the only one in my family that's ever sat down with me and said, I'm sorry.
Interesting.
I didn't know. I did the best. And it wasn't I did the best I could. It was
I did what I knew.
she did what she did.
She did what she knew.
She did what she knew. I mean, her mom pulled her teeth at 12.
See how honest.
and-
I mean,
and her bone did- yeah.
She did what she knew.
But her love, I mean, I was angry. I was
Sure.
angry. And she chased me for probably 10 years.
Your mom did.
I wouldn't talk to her. Family time, Christmas. I was always cordial.
But
and all.
now you all have a good relationship.
Oh yeah, I
love
gotta call. I gotta call her when we're done. And and she is my big. You're the only child we ever planned. She just loves bragging about me, and
I love it.
If you go on Vintage One, she comments.
She
on,
comments on every post.
I love
I have to
that.
delete that. Some of them. No, I do
No.
delete some of them.
Don't delete
Well, she gets a little biblical sometimes.
Well,
and-
who cares?
Yeah, I know.
Who
But
cares?
She loves me. Our parents are great supporters.
Yeah.
If they're healthy, and it has been fun to watching us grow, And I have loved getting to know you a little bit. No, I'm serious. Thank you for opening up and being raw and authentic.
I don't know that I was, but
Wait till you watch it back. It's going to be like I told John. It'll be like I told John Cantrell. When you watch it back, that you get more out of it than you think.
really,
And
I'm
they'll
hot.
yeah,
I'm
it's
having
okay.
a hot flash.
It's okay. Take it off, and there'll be more.
You should have girls on have a group on to talk about menopause.
Okay. Well,
I can set that
how
up.
about this? Women in your 50s.
Yeah.
So that'll be the next thing when you come in.
All right.
And that can cover a whole bunch of topics,
Okay.
including my calves. Oh, we're about to go.
Okay.
So,
I
Dave-
want him to take another picture.
Well, you know we're
I
still
will.
on right now.
Oh. Well,
Yeah. So
make
no,
it stop.
We are going to make it stop. Say bye-bye to everybody. Listen,
everyone.
episode 29. If you like what you hear, listen, no, you can take that off.
Okay,
It's
thank God.
If you like what you hear, share, like. I'm trying to get this out while she's having a hot flash over here, okay?
awful hot
Dave,
flash.
let's go. Hey, listen, I appreciate y'all. See you next episode.
Yeah, I learned to stay strong. Concrete in the dirt, I was raised on. Know how to put in work. Grinding all day, you know it's game on. My skin
Did
is
I
thick
do better
as
than
tough.
John?
Running,
I
yeah,
do
we
better
stay
than John.
alive. Ain't gotta look
Absolutely
nowhere else.
not. It's still being recorded, by the way.
Okay.
We love you.